All right,
Switching.
let's go. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Unkindness Lounge, episode 11. I'm Lizardnutta.
I'm Ravenclaw, and we've got special guest today, Tony. DisIsntTony is his Twitch name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to clarify that. Is it actually Tony?
It is
Or-
actually
is it
Tony.
Tony?
Okay.
I get that question all the time. It's actually kind of funny. Back in middle school, I think, back when AOL Instant Messenger was a thing, which I don't even know if you two would have used that. But it was a joke screen name I made back on AIM, and it just kind of became my username for everything that stuck. And now, I don't know, 15 years later, I still use it everywhere. So
Hey, it
I'm
works.
like,
Now,
I
'cause no one ever
feel
takes it.
really bad if I was like, yeah, this is Tony, this isn't Tony, and then it's actually
Right.
not even like, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
you know what? I know we're just getting started here, but someone wants to come say hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi, buddy. Oh, how cute.
Another
This is
special
Lucas.
guest.
Can you say hi?
Hi,
Another, we have,
Lucas.
of course, special guest today. A surprise guest.
I've heard a lot about Lucas.
Yeah, he's getting ready to go to bed, so I just wanted to come and say hi, I guess.
Aww.
Can you wave?
Hi, Lucas.
Okay.
Hi.
There you go. No, he doesn't want to go. There you go.
He's like, no,
Aw.
I love
So
all the
cute.
attention.
There you go. First
No,
on-screen appearance of
forget
Lucas.
Tony. This is all about Lucas today.
Yeah, for real. All
Oh,
right.
man.
So real quick before we get in, a couple things. Number one is if you're in the chat over here hanging out, you want to chat in Minor Raven's stream, go ahead. We're gonna be reading it. We see everything you put, but we might not acknowledge it right away because we just want to focus on the podcast because we get distracted very easily. But at the end, we will take questions, answer questions, and all that jazz. And then the other thing is Ravenclaw. The news is
God.
out. Congratulations.
Big
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ravenclaw is we're gonna have a third host of the Unkindness Lounge.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will.
Very exciting.
Super
Yes,
exciting.
super excited. So yeah, I'm having a baby for anyone that didn't catch that. And October is the due date, so
Yeah.
that's
we need
why I've
another
been
October
so MIA. Is because I've been so sick.
baby.
I've been so
Oh,
sick. Yeah, literally, I like dropped off the face of the planet with streaming, and everyone's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, sick every day. So I'm like, yeah, you guys don't want me to try play a game yet. But yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
But
I'm like,
yeah.
hey, what are you doing tomorrow morning? She's like, dude, mornings are nah.
Yeah.
I'm
okay,
like, no,
fair
yeah,
enough.
one day he like brought up like having a morning podcast episode, and I shut that down so quickly. I was like, no, we can't do that.
I was like, okay, I'll never ask again.
Yeah, but thanks so much for coming on with us today.
Happy to be here.
I always love having guests on that I don't know that much about.
Yeah.
So that, it's just super interesting.
We got the name thing clarified though, guys. This is Mark.
Mark. Yeah, this isn't Tony. Essentially, no.
I kind of wish I would have had the foresight to make it something else, and then they're like, your name's Tony. Like, no, it's not Tony. It's just a random name.
Yeah,
That would
or
be
you
a
could have
running
made your
joke.
name like this isn't Mark, and then it really wouldn't be.
Right.
It'd be how funny
That's
would
awesome.
that be? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess we can just jump right into it.
Yeah. Right before.
Tell us about.
Oh,
what?
sorry. I was gonna say right before we went live, you were talking about the Wii U and things like that, and you said you had a story or something to show us.
Yeah,
or something.
because for those of you that don't know,
I happen to have a Wii U
the
game
Super
sitting right
Smash
here
Bros,
with me.
yeah.
Because the main reason I got a Wii U back in the day was for Super Smash Brothers.
oh my gosh.
Because I've pretty much owned every Nintendo console for a lot of reasons, but mainly because I like the Smash Brothers series.
Heck
and I just
yeah.
happen to have that nearby. So I'm like, well, yeah, we're talking about the Wii U. I think I have every Smash game that's come out on every console.
That's super cool.
And the Wii U, for its many flaws, had a pretty decent Smash game that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah,
cool.
Lizard just got a Wii U and we were talking about it, and I was like, I don't even know what a Wii U looks like. Like, is it still like the
Strange.
regular box that you have
So-
the handheld?
I would describe it
I don't even
as
know.
the console itself kind of looks like a direct TV box, like a TV
Oh
box.
Yeah.
gosh.
And then there's the handheld console, which is like this big. It's huge. It's like the
Oh
Switch
my gosh.
times
It's like
2.
a chunky Switch.
Yeah,
Like imagine a big fat Switch that isn't as sleek or nice as what we have now.
right. And that
So it's
basically,
not like the motion anymore, like the
well, you
like
use Wii remotes for that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So
That's
you still have the
so
Wii
cool.
remotes because you can play on your
Oh,
TV.
okay. I
And then
gotcha.
that
Yeah.
thing's basically like a controller, like hub thing. I mean, I think you can play the games on it as well, and
Yeah, you
do other
can.
things.
Funnily enough, I
Yeah.
actually, when Breath of the Wild came out, it came out, I think, on the same day the Switch did, but I didn't get a Switch at launch, but I really wanted to play Zelda. So I actually played that entire game on the Wii U. And a lot of my time playing it was on the tablet. Like I'd have something on TV and I could literally play the game on the tablet via like remote play or whatever. Kind of like you
That's
do
so
now
cool.
with the Switch, only you needed to
Mhm.
be within proximity of the console to do it. But that's how I
Yeah.
played that entire game, which is really funny to look back on and be like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I should play it on Switch because it'd be so much better.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
It's
But it was
pretty
still
cool
fun.
though. The main reason
Well,
is that the shop is still open on there, so that's why we got it. So you can still buy like
Oh,
the
really?
online Wii games because you can play the normal Wii games on there as well. It's like we
Mhm.
got on the shop and like bought some old Wii games that are hard to find and all that. So
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty
literally every time I want a good workout, I just throw on Just Dance.
cool. Right, dude, just
That is like the
dance.
hardest thing ever now. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did we do this as kids?
I played that for the first time like last week and it kicked my butt.
Dude, it is
I mean,
rough.
It's bad.
Man.
All right, let's jump on in.
Sure.
Yeah, so you just recently started streaming, right? You haven't been streaming too long now, have you?
Yeah, it's been a couple months. I think my first actual stream was back in, I want to say August or something, but it was from my console with no camera. I was actually streaming that Avengers beta before that game came out, which I think came out in September. I wanted to try the beta. I'm like, well, I'm going to try this. I can stream from my PlayStation, so why not? And I didn't know what I was doing, and I think I was muted for like the first 10 minutes.
Oh no.
I had like this chat on my phone. I think I might have had it on the TV because PlayStation lets you kind of keep it up on screen, but it's not the easiest to read. So I was just like playing, and then a bunch of people came in and we're chatting and everything, and it was a little overwhelming because I didn't know what I was doing. But my first, what I would kind of consider my real stream, when I had a camera and everything, was around Halloween because I dressed up as Star-Lord in my Star-Lord costume, and it was really hot because it's a big leather jacket. So that, I guess I'd say when I kind of first started seriously doing this was in October, and I use the term serious very lightly because it's definitely a casual thing. But you know, like with a camera and the whole stream elements and all that kind of stuff, OBS. That would have been, I guess,
Yeah.
October.
It does make a big difference when you like level up to using actual equipment and stuff like
Yeah,
definitely.
not that like you can't stream from a console. I know plenty of people do it, but
Yeah.
like I got a new PC around September, and it's like I finally had a way I could stream, like I guess that way. And that's when I kind of set up everything and started kind of taking this a little more seriously than I was, I guess, when I was doing it for my console.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely came together pretty nicely. I remember your first stream pretty well actually. I was like, I don't remember if I was streaming and rated you or if I was just on my phone, but I remember seeing that you were live and I was like, what? Like Tony is streaming? This is awesome. So
Yeah,
there's a
why
bunch
not?
of us hanging
I
out.
like to
I
play
don't
That's
games,
awesome.
and it's just a fun thing. I'm definitely doing it as a hobby. Like I'm not trying to, I guess what you'd call, be a content creator, so to speak. Like I'm just kind of playing games, having fun, chatting with people. I only do it like once or twice a week, so like I have a full-time job 9 to 5 during the week, so it's hard to find the time, and with a 2-year-old. But yeah, just trying to do it when I can and have fun chatting with people.
That's
You're doing
super cool.
great. The stream
You
looks
are
great.
doing great. I
Thank you.
remember, I don't know how I got to your stream. I say this a lot. Every time we have someone on, I'm like, yeah, I don't remember how exactly I got there, but it must have been from someone's raid or something because I had no idea. Like I knew you from everyone's freaking stream I was in. I felt like you're always in there too chatting. But I was like, wait, you stream? Like, what? I had no idea.
I want to say one of the first people that raided me was maybe Jabante. I think he was the first person that raided me, so I wouldn't be surprised if that might have been where he came from.
Yeah.
I
know, because it's all the same
group,
circle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you, was it kind of like something you kept on the down low at first? Or like, had you announced it somewhere? Like Twitter or anything like that? Or was it kind of just like, oh, I'm just going to start doing this and like see what happens?
That's a good point. The one that I did back on my PlayStation, I think I might have tweeted about it. I'm not sure though, because I wasn't quite sure what I was doing.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's honestly weird because Twitter is something I haven't really used before the last year related to Twitch. Like I never really used Twitter much for a while, but I've kind of used it now to, interact with Twitch friends and people I don't have on other social media. But I don't think I was really promoting myself too much to start because I was just kind of seeing what I could do and figuring it out. And I think I try to, tweet out more often now when I'm going live, but I probably wasn't doing that right away.
Yeah. No, that's super cool. I'm glad you stream now because the ones that I've been in, you're pretty natural at it, I would say. You do really good and it's fun. It's always fun to hang out. So
I appreciate that. It's something that I don't really like public speaking, and I feel like this is a good way to do that a little more. I have to do stuff at work every now and then, like presentations, and I hate it. So I'm like, getting a chance to get a little outside my comfort zone and try something new, I think is good. And I've gotten to meet a lot of new people this way, which is also really great.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, we talk about, like Lizard and I talk about that all the time, how we like shy away from the public and public speaking and all that kind of stuff. And so this is definitely like a good way to kind of get yourself out there without having to completely like put yourself out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And everyone here makes it so easy to do so, compared to how it could be. We've got a great group of people, so.
Yeah, it's definitely like talking to all your friends basically, rather than something scary.
Did you ever expect to like make this many friends through streaming and watching streams, interacting, that kind of stuff?
No, it's so weird because I mean, I've only even been involved in this whole streaming community for maybe a little over a year. It all started because Intimidator is one of my best friends, and he started streaming back on Mixer, and he's like, hey, I'm trying this thing. And I would just kind of come and hang out on his streams, and that was it, like just him. And like he'd play things like in the evening, I'd have him on before I go to bed. And I got to know a couple people in his community from that. But then it just kind of grew from there. And then I've gotten to meet all those other people, but it's not something I ever expected to get this involved in. And I've kind of lucked out that I have a job that I can work from home. And so I can kind of have Twitch up while I'm working all day and just kind of listening on people. And
that's nice.
So I get the chance to just kind of, watch people a lot of the time throughout the day when things aren't too crazy. So it's been a interesting year, or a little over a year now, since I kind of, I guess, first got involved in Mixer, and then I found people like Dreamality, who I think led me to so many other people in this community, which is great, like the two of you. And it's nothing I would have expected, like even a year ago, I think, to be this involved in it. It's been really cool.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people realize how deep these connections are, that you can, until you're doing it, like you have no idea how good and strong these friendships are that you're making. Like you would never think from, watching streams and just like chatting to people that you'd be able to make these like friends and stuff like that we always talk about, how most of the people we know in here, we have like stronger friendships than with our people in real life. So it's really crazy, but it's super cool. Yeah. And I'm kind of along the same boat as you. I've not even been around like watching streams very long at all. So it's pretty crazy to see how many people you can make in such a short time.
Yeah. It's very welcoming for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, you talk about your first stream. You're just testing it out on your console, and everyone flooded in, and I mean that's just kind of how it is.
That was
around
crazy.
Here. It's like, oh my gosh, they're streaming.
Did you watch that, Lizard? Did you?
Yeah, I was in there. I don't remember if I was involved in a raid that got sent there, if I was just on my phone and got the notification, because I know I was already following you. Because I
The
follow
thing I remember about
most
that
people, but-
is there was a view count on screen on the PlayStation, like on my TV, and my mind thought, oh, that's how many total, like I thought it was like a chat count or something, not current viewers. I thought it was like total viewers over the whole time I was playing. And then, but I guess by the time I was done, I realized, oh, at one point I had like 50 people watching me while I was streaming on my PlayStation. I think it's because I was playing a beta of a new game, like people that didn't know me were watching it. But I didn't have a grasp when it was happening of how many people were there. And then when I was done, I was like, oh my gosh, that was a lot.
There's a
and I
lot
mean,
of people
that's not
there.
something that normally happens, obviously. But if I think I would have been panicking a lot more if I understood what was going on.
Right, it's like probably better
than I
you were
did.
so like unaware. 'cause
You
Yeah.
handled it really
chilling
well.
through it.
You did
And
good.
I remember like I had my phone and I was trying to watch chat and my wife was there and like she was asking me questions, but I was also, I had like a headset on to talk to chat, and it was a lot going on at once, and I was trying to figure out how to play a new game, and yeah, that was a little much.
That would be. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good way to remember your first stream, though.
Yeah.
I
And then the
guess.
first time I actually was on camera, I had trouble getting like my microphone to work for like, or maybe it was my headphones, I forget. Something wasn't working for like 15 minutes. And I was, like I said, I was in this leather jacket because I was dressed as Star-Lord and I was like already sweating and then everything wasn't working. I was getting all flustered. And it finally worked and I played some Fall Guys and then I got a crown in my very first match of the night. And I'm like, well,
Wow.
okay, that's it. I'm done. No more.
Oh my
One and
gosh.
done.
That's
But it was
awesome.
like, you know, first game of the night. Nobody was even there and I got a crown and then I couldn't get any
Right.
more after that.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what kind of led you to streaming? I guess.
So it's definitely Tim. I started watching him on Mixer, and I remember it. I didn't quite even have a good grasp on what streaming was, and I would just kind of hang out in his chat, and I would like poke him and prod and be like, "Hey, I want a mod sword. Make me a mod." Not really having much context for what that was. I just like was like, "Hey, I want to be green. Let me be a different color." And I mean, Tim's been my best friend since high school, so like, it was kind of like a joking thing. But I'd be like, "Hey, Tim, another stream. I'm still not a mod. Come on, what are you doing?" And he'd joke like, "You have to earn it and everything." So eventually, I think he did that, and so I would kind of hang out in his streams and got to know some of those people. And then I think one day he told me like, "Hey, there's this really cool streamer you might like, and his name's Dreamality, and he was playing. I think it was, I want to say it was Animal Crossing. It was probably just about a year ago, and I got to check that out. Like I used to watch Twitch a lot when I was cooking dinner in the evenings. Like I'd have it on my phone, so I would just kind of listen in. I'm like, oh, this guy's really fun, and then I'd start chatting a little more, and then I got to know people like Zarners and Steph and you guys, and this whole group, and now like Robbie. The list could go on and on. A lot of people you've already had on this podcast. But I mean, it was definitely Tim that just kind of brought me into this whole world, and nothing I expected to get this into, but it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
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 Shout out to Tim.
Yeah, Tim's awesome. I think Tim is actually one of Dream's first followers too, wasn't he? I know he came on
early.
very early on in the community, so that's super cool.
Yeah, I think I caught Dream right around when Animal Crossing came out, which probably is what, a year ago, almost to the day, right?
A year
March
ago.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. Was it today? I don't think it was today.
I forget the exact date, but it was mid-March.
I don't remember either. Yeah, I remember that. That's awesome. But...
Yeah, because it's finally Animal Crossing's like first anniversary or whatever. So I'm sure everyone was picking up and streaming it.
That's the whole reason we got a Nintendo Switch, honestly.
Yeah.
We went and got one like the next day.
I'm so
you got it
glad.
early before they disappeared.
I was gonna say I luckily had one like way before, and I'm thankful because literally, as soon as that game went on sale, they like disappeared. They like went out of stock everywhere. It was impossible.
2 days. 3/20/20. That's when it came out.
Oh wow.
So
that's crazy. Dang. So I guess from there he introduced you to Dream Stream, and then I guess you kind of met everyone else through there, I'm assuming.
I think so. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because a lot of it all happened very close together. I'm sure that there's, I don't know if I met everyone through Dream, but there was definitely a lot of overlap where I was meeting a lot of people that all kind of were in the same community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah,
Everyone ends up everywhere eventually, it feels like.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know who came first, but they all
pretty cool.
the same people I would find in like the different people's chats that I was watching. It'd be the same people every time. So
Yeah, it's like there's this whole other group of streamers I kind of know, including, I don't know if you're familiar with the names like Hunkstaban or Hamatsu. They were kind of people
Yeah.
I also met through Tim on Mixer, and that are kind of a whole separate group of people from Europe. And then at one point on Twitch, they like started overlapping, which was really weird to me because in my mind they were like two separate groups. I think either Hunk Rated Dream or Dream Rated Hunk, and there are these like two big communities that started interacting, and now I see people in each other's chats all the time, and it's really weird but really cool.
that's cool, especially knowing them each separately, their streams and stuff separately, to see that happen. That's so crazy. Like,
yeah.
Thanks for the bits clips. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I knew Hamatsu. I think, was he on Mixer as well? I might have known him since the Mixer days through Tim. But I didn't know, is it Hunkstaban?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know him until one day I got this raid, and I don't remember how many people. I want to say it was like 70 people or something in my chat.
Wow.
It was Hunkstaban.
Oh my gosh.
What is happening? Like, this dude,
so cool.
I think he's a Twitch partner, right?
No
so
way.
he had the Twitch partner star, and I was freaking out.
Uh-huh.
Everyone was in there. I was playing Cold War, naturally, the worst game. I'm the worst at it, but and I look in there, and Tony's in there, and Tony was the one that sent him over. Everyone my way.
Oh my gosh!
Wait,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
He was over here acting like,
I saw that.
Really?
I was excited. Yeah, I remember doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I love about this community is that I honestly, before Mixer shut down, I had a relatively negative impression of Twitch in my mind as being like more toxic than it really is. And then I've come over here and everyone is so nice and welcoming, and communities that support each other, just like something like that, taking a recommendation for a raid and bringing a huge community over to someone you don't know just because someone recommended it. And like, that's awesome. I love that kind of stuff. It's something that I never expected to be as prominent as it is, but I see it all the time and it's really great.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of big ones too, but there's a lot of small communities in Twitch that are super tight, super cool. Everyone's, respects each other and treats each other like other humans. And then I guess I kind of had that same outlook on Twitch too at first, several years back, where if you're just watching some of the big streamers or big communities, there's some pretty nasty people around, to say the least. That I'm not sure why it's so toxic, and sometimes it gets into the smaller communities as well. You do see it every now and then, but for the most part, I think we got pretty lucky with this community because none of that really. I mean,
no, and like if the rare chance that it does happen, like it's taken care of immediately because
for sure,
everyone is super supportive and
100%.
Yeah,
that's awesome though. Just bringing communities together left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what kind of games have you streamed so far?
Let's see. When I first started, I was playing a lot of Fall Guys, so I did that a good bit. And Rocket League's another game that I like to stream now and then. I tend to not stream in big chunks at a time, so I struggle to stream like story-heavy games because I might only go for an hour or two on a given day. So I tend to pick things that are kind of easy to pick up and play and mess around in for a little bit, and then not have to cut something off in the middle of something epic, I guess you'd say. Another game I've liked to stream a little bit recently was Hades. If you're familiar with that, kind of like a roguelike, where I've been really loving that. And I finally, a couple weeks ago, I finally beat Hades for the first time on stream. And that was a great moment. My hands were shaking because I was like so tense from it. And that's one I need to get back to, because after I beat it the one time, I'm like, okay, I'll take a little break from this, because I'd been probably streaming it once or twice a week pretty consistently until I beat it. But there's a lot more to that game. And then I guess one other one I'd say is I was talking about earlier, Genshin Impact is a game that is something that I've just kind of gotten more into it than I expected, and it's just a fun game to like relax and explore and run around the world and collect stuff. And I think those are most of that's most of it. There's not a lot of, like I said, there's other things I want to do eventually, but it's more an issue of like finding the time to fit some of the big ones in there.
For sure. Punky, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, guys. Just real quick.
Oh, nice.
Keep on chatting. I'm reading them. But we're probably gonna focus in on the podcast. This is not Tony. This is Mark.
Mark.
So welcome
Rebrand.
in, guys.
I'm Mark now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say about Genshin is like your favorite part of it? Do you think it's just because it's such a like chill game to relax on, or is it? I know for Dungeon, he was saying it was like the art style, really, of the game had him hooked.
I do really like. It's kind of like this really bright, colorful anime style that I really enjoy. It's just this big, huge world you can run around in. But something else. I mean, there's that aspect of it where I can just kind of veg out and run around and just explore. But there's also a really cool combat system that involves like different elements and how they interact with each other, and different characters have different element focuses, and there's dozens of characters you can get through the game. So kind of building a team is a big aspect of that game, and kind of, matching up different weapons or different elements or different characters that you like with different abilities is a really cool part of it too. That's really fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that online?
Yeah, it's on PC, it's on PS4 where I play it. It's free. It's free to play. It has a like gacha style lottery game type where you like have to spend currency to unlock characters.
Okay.
You can play the game completely free, and you can spend money if you want to. I haven't spent a dime on the game, and I'm loving it. You can earn currency by playing, so you don't have to spend money, but you can if you want to.
And once you reach a certain level, it's co-op too. Can it be?
Yeah, you can fight bosses.
Okay.
Like do everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
what I
run
was
around the world and do some stuff. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's a game I would probably be happy to spend like $20 or $30 on, or more. I mean, it's honestly, it's like fully voice acted, and it's a lot for a free game. It's really impressive, honestly, how much they're giving you for free and like constant content. So
it definitely is a really pretty game when you get inside that world, just from the little I've seen of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's not for everyone. There is a certain grindy aspect to some of what you do to get like currency and waiting for stuff to recharge. Like it's made from a mobile game developer and has some of those mechanics that are kind of built into it, but you don't really have to do any of that stuff if you don't want to. I just find it fun and peaceful to run around and fight things.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey Q, thank you for the resub. You're awesome. Yeah.
What was the other game you said you were playing?
More recently I've been playing Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
I think that's the one I talked about earlier.
Thanks,
kind of like a Metroidvania.
Right.
I'm a big fan of that style of game too, like Castlevania, Metroid. There was another game called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night that I played that's kind of that same style, like, side scrolly exploration. Hollow Knight's a very tough one, but it's been fun the little bit I've played so far. Ori is a big one that I love. That's one of my favorite games in that genre that I've played.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about that one too.
Right. Yeah, that one looks super cool. I'd have to check it out. Would Little Nightmares be in that category, kind of? No, not really.
I
really.
think that is kind of like more of a platformer, maybe. Okay. I don't know. Like when I think Metroidvania, I think of like a big map that you tend to backtrack and you get collectibles to unlock new parts of it. And like you get new abilities as you go through and things like that.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had picked it up. It must have been free on PlayStation at some time.
Yeah, I just had it on my PlayStation. I don't know when I got it.
I was like, yeah, this looks interesting, and then I didn't realize like it's actually a lot harder than it looks, but it's pretty cool.
Is it like Dark Souls hard?
Oh,
Well,
it's
I've
completely
never
different.
played Dark Souls, and I do not intend to play Dark Souls. I don't think I have the patience
fair.
for that.
I don't think
I-
it's so hard, but
You die a lot, but not that kind
Yeah.
of hard.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
punishing, make you
Right.
want to hide under a pillow
Fair enough.
hard.
Fair enough.
I commend people like Zarner who can take the time to do that because
Oh
I
my.
cannot.
He's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
And then obviously Hades has been, I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever had anything bad to say about that game.
Yeah, that game is from one of my favorite developers called Supergiant, and they made a game called Bastion 10 years ago maybe that I loved back then. More like a top-down style. Well, Hades is top-down too, but a little more less brutal. There's an actual story to that game. They just kind of go through the game. That's a great one that I've played on like 3 different consoles now because I enjoy it so much. I've played it a couple times. Really good. And they have good music, good visuals. Like they're just fun to look at and listen to.
Right.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Are there any games coming out that you're looking forward to playing either, this year or later on in the future, or any games that you would want to see like sequels of come out in the near future?
Well, a game that I have not played yet, but I own and I need to play is the new God of War.
Oh, okay.
I've played the original, the first 2 games way back on whatever PlayStation they were on, and I just so happened to have started up God of War 3 this past weekend because I wanted to finally try it. But the new God of War is one that I want to play that I know I'm gonna love because I love that style of game.
Right.
Just need to get to it. But I think another game I'm really excited for is the sequel to the Final Fantasy VII remake. There's DLC coming up. It's on the PS5, so I don't know when I'll play it, but there's like an expansion to the first game, and then down the road, whenever it is, there's going to be a part 2, which that remake was one of my favorite games of last year. So that's probably a big one I'm looking forward to, but who knows when that'll happen.
Yeah,
Could be a
because
while.
you're a fan of the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
I remember you. I know you're in a few of my streams when I was freaking trying to figure out what I was doing.
Yeah, I think I was in one of the first ones you were playing, Final Fantasy
so
X.
great.
Like, oh, I love this game. It's a good one.
And I was like, well, you might want to go elsewhere because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it look bad.
That was great.
But yeah, so God of War is on the list, and then the sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remastered.
Something else I'm not thinking of, but
Is it Harry Potter?
The Harry Potter game.
Actually, I think my wife is more excited for Harry Potter than I am. She is the biggest Harry Potter fan I've ever met. And when I showed her that trailer, my wife does not play video games, but when I showed her that trailer, she's like, "I'm gonna play that. You don't get to play it. I'm gonna play it." Like she wants to play that one. Yeah. So we'll probably be grabbing that one at some point when it comes out. That looks really fun. I keep forgetting about that because it was announced like last year, right?
I was gonna say, I'm sure they're pushing it. Who knows when, but it'll be cool when it does happen for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's one that I can't get off my mind.
Yeah, and I had zero idea that was happening until they showed. Was it like the PS5? I don't know. Release video or something that they had showed. I don't remember what it was, where they had showed like a clip of it, and I was like, is this real? And I was like, dang, this is actually happening. Like I had no idea that was even gonna be a thing. So it's always exciting. Cool to get like a little surprise.
Long overdue, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only Harry Potter games I can remember were the Lego ones, which were very old.
I was gonna say I don't think they've ever given Harry Potter the proper justice it needs when it comes to a video game. And I kind of feel that same way about Lord of the Rings as well, although there are some pretty fire Lord of the Ring games from back I want to say like the early PlayStation days. But I mean nothing like they can do with video games nowadays, you know what I mean? So
I was gonna say I've seen nothing with that any recent, anytime recently.
Yeah. So
with those big worlds like that, I feel like why aren't there anything yet?
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Is what are the Shadow of Mordor? Are those are Lord of the Rings, right? Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, I think so.
Those are pretty fun, but they were more like combat focused than
Right.
like
Then
exploration.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So do you remember when you started playing video games? What your first console was? What your first game you played was?
I'm pretty sure the first game I played was on the original Nintendo, the original Mario Brothers that came with Duck Hunt, like that two-pack thing. When I was, I don't know, 4 or 5, we had some friends we went to and they had the NES. And so we would play Duck Hunt with that light gun. We'd play pretty much only the first level of Mario because we were little and couldn't do any more than that. But I remember playing that a lot with them. And then from there, I think my family never owned a Nintendo, but we owned a Super Nintendo. So Super Mario World, and we had Mario All-Stars, like not the one that just came out, Mario 3D All-Stars, but the original Mario All-Stars that had like Mario 1, 2, and 3 on it. And me and my brother would play that so much as a kid. We were pretty much a Nintendo family growing up. So we had a Super Nintendo, and then from there on pretty much had every Nintendo console after that. But yeah, those early days of Mario and Duck Hunt, I know that's a little before both of your times, but that's what I started with.
We've definitely heard Duck Hunt from multiple people, I feel
Yeah.
like.
It was like one of the first time, besides things like Tetris and Pong, like I think it was one of the first home consoles people could have that, and you could interact with the TV with that gun. It was kind of a big deal back then.
Yeah. I feel like Nintendo's always taking things above and beyond to the next level, though.
It's kind of what they do, right? They innovate.
I might be a
something different.
I might be a little biased on this, but I still feel like the Nintendo Wii was just like one of the most revolutionary things in video game history. I mean,
I think it definitely was. Yeah.
When you pick up that Wii remote and that nunchuck, and you step in that ring,
right?
Right.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
Yeah. I had never been so jealous in my life of my friends that had Wiis.
Yeah, Wii Sports was that was everywhere when like 2007 or whenever that came out. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was 2006.
6, okay.
Get it right next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo games, I feel like, I don't know. The arguments usually between Xbox or PlayStation, which one you prefer more, but I feel like everyone can agree that Nintendo is like fun for everyone, no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean,
guess
all
that's
ages.
kind of their thing. They are a little more. Not everything is like family friendly, but they tend to, I think, try to, as a company, have that kind of family friendly attitude. So their big IPs like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, they're like all very approachable, I think, to people that don't have to get it ingrained in an ecosystem as something like Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they've definitely always gone above and beyond, I feel like, for sure.
So after the Nintendo era, what was after that? Was it always Nintendo's, or did you ever get into PlayStation and Xbox games at all?
So my family only ever pretty much had Nintendo consoles growing up. I got really into the GameCube. Well, the N64 had things like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, and then the GameCube. Yeah, that was Animal Crossing was a big one. I did the original Animal Crossing, which Lizard, I know you started playing recently.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? Since I was showing off something, I found something else I think you might like. I don't have the case for it, but I actually found my disc of the original Animal Crossing for the GameCube.
That's awesome.
It's in a Mario Kart case. I don't have the case for it anymore. But I found that and I'm like, oh, Wizard just started playing this. And me and my brother played so much of that. We would compete to get to pay off our rent and get the gold statue. And we'd have to
spoilers.
We'd argue over who would get to play because we each wanted to play with take turns because we were kids.
That's awesome.
I mean, that console had a lot of games I put a lot of time into, like Metroid Prime and Zelda the Wind Waker and Mario Sunshine. I think even though there were, like some of the bigger ones on the N64, I think the GameCube was when I really got to spend a lot of time on some of those kind of games and got really into some of those franchises that I'd played before, but wasn't maybe old enough to fully appreciate them until around then. And I think around that time is also when I got to start playing Final Fantasy. Now, my first introduction to it though was kind of weird. I played the original games, like they came out on the Game Boy Advance, I think. Like they released Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 on the Game Boy Advance. So I played like the original ones, and then I got to borrow my friend's PlayStation and played through Final Fantasy 7, and I loved it. I mean, that's still one of my probably favorite games of all time, just because like the world and the characters and all that. I mean, the
Right.
remake I played recently just took all of that and made it modern, but I remember playing that back then. I never owned my own PlayStation, so it's kind of like I'd play in either at his house. I think I borrowed it for like a week and played a ton of it, and like we'd kind of trade consoles now and then. But yes, I never got to own those. So like when I played Final Fantasy X, it wasn't until I went to college and my roommate had one. And I spent like a week, like I skipped classes for like a week, which is something I never would do. But I skipped classes for my first time to play Final Fantasy X, and I played through that game and loved it, and I think I've played most of them since then.
That's
I've
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about 7, but I've never heard anyone say a bad word about it. Like it seems to be like everyone's or almost everyone's like favorite.
Wasn't that the first one that was more open?
Yeah, and it also was, I think, the first one that really had like 3D models in it, if I remember correctly. It was the first one on the PlayStation, so it was less of like top-down overworld like you would have seen in the earlier ones, and it was more like a 3D environment, which now looking back on it now is very like low texture polygons everywhere, but back then it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never did play the Final Fantasy games growing up. Or ever. So but
if you like RPGs, they're fun.
Yeah, I've never heard a bad thing in what?
It's a very, very hard. I don't know anything about it. Like
Right. Yeah. That seems to always be right up there at the top when people are talking about their favorite games of all time. Would you say Final Fantasy is your favorite game of all time?
That's a tough one. I knew you would ask me this question. I've been like thinking about it because there's a couple different ones. I mean, Pokemon is something I grew up on. I got a Game Boy and played. I've had every single Pokemon game, I think. There was a time in like high school and college when I thought I was too cool for it. Never really played like Black and White because I just thought I was too good for it, and I went back and played it later. But I've pretty much played every game in the series, but those original ones, Red, Blue, Yellow, and Gold, Silver, and Crystal, that I played back on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, I put so many hours in those as a kid, and like being on a handheld, you could like play it in the car, I could play it in bed, like wouldn't have someone tell me to turn off the TV. So I have a lot of fond memories of that series as a whole growing up. And I honestly, I think a lot of that is kind of also why I like RPGs in general, like Final Fantasy. You have your party, you're building out your team, and you can kind of customize it. So I think those two games really made me appreciate that genre in general, even though they're kind of very different. But honestly, if I had to pick my favorite, I guess maybe more of a series because it's evolved, but Super Smash Brothers is something that I'm always going to love ever since the original N64, where like all these Nintendo characters that I grew up with got to come together and fight. And now like again, like I said earlier, I owned a Wii U mostly because I wanted to play Super Smash Brothers, and I couldn't not do that. And I've owned every Nintendo console since the N64 in big part because of Super Smash Brothers. And seeing now the current version on the Switch that has like, I don't even know how many characters they're up to, almost 80.
Oh gosh.
It's something crazy.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think has been a good source of like friendship over the years, because I've always had people I could play it with. When I was in college, my one roommate and I, we would play Super Smash Bros. Almost daily to like determine who would cook dinner, who would take out the trash, who would like, we were pretty evenly matched, and we'd be like, you need a break from studying? Let's go play Smash. Hey, I don't want to cook dinner. Okay, here, we'll see who wins, and the loser will cook dinner. Like, it was a fun little thing we did with that I have a lot of fond memories from. And it's something that even when that group of friends gets together, and Tim's actually included in this group, like it's something that we all can just kind of sit down and pick up and play. And it's just so much fun. I think that's probably one of my favorites, I'd have to say, just because of how how much I've gotten to enjoy playing it with friends over the years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
And even more recently, I've gotten to play it with like this community, which has been amazing. I didn't get to play it much over the last year because I've been stuck at home, but having people to play with again has been really fun.
Were you one of the ones that was gonna play with Dreamality the other day?
Yeah, I've played with them a couple times, but we've kind of formed a mini rivalry now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But who is your all-time main in Smash Bros?
Oh, it's Samus, 100%.
Yeah,
Since the
Samus
original
is a good
N64, it has been Samus, and she has been my character for every Smash Brothers game forever. That's just who I play as. And I mean, I'll try other people and I'll have fun and I'll play with whoever. But if I have to pick one, it's Samus. And a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, I entered a Smash Brothers tournament and I came in second. They did 64, Melee, and Brawl, I think, and I came in second in 2 of those. I didn't win either one, but I got very close to winning 2 of them. It was like a little local thing back home, but yeah,
that's amazing.
Love it.
That's awesome. Smash Bros is definitely one of those games that so many people really.
It's an easy game to learn too, because
I was like, I wish I would have played it when I was younger, because I tried once on the Switch and I was so confused. I was like, why?
You can just button mash and do something at least.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Or do the Tim route and just try to grab people and run off the edge with them. I don't know if Tim's in chat, but I know that's his strategy, and he'll confirm that if he's there.
He plays Kirby.
He plays as Bowser a lot, and he like grabs people and does the little flip to go off the edge.
Just body slams them off.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's great.
My brother growing up, I always played Pikachu. I liked Pikachu.
Yeah.
And he would play as Kirby, and he would swallow me up, jump off, spit me out, and then fly back up. And I couldn't contest. I'm like, come on, man. How are you having fun?
He's like, I do that. Yes. No
he
shame.
said it's true.
Great. I mean,
that's
no
awesome.
judgment here. I wouldn't know what I was doing.
That's definitely one of the best games for sure. I agree.
It's just fun.
So, what's your least favorite, worst game you've ever played?
So, I thought about this one too. I struggle to think of a game I don't like, because I'm the kind of person who I tend to not buy or play games unless I've kind of done my research. I know I'm going to like it. So I was thinking back on things I played as a kid, and there was a Lion King game on the Super Nintendo that we had, and Lion King was one of my favorite Disney movies growing up. And we got the Lion King video game for the Super Nintendo, and I just could not get. There's the first level, you'd climb up Pride Rock, and that was good. And the next level, you'd have to jump on giraffes' heads going through the jungle, and I could not do it. And I'd play this game all the time, and I couldn't get past the second or third level, and I would just get frustrated and just give up. And again, it was because I was probably 9 or 10 and just didn't. I could probably go back now and play it relatively easily, I think. But as a kid, I would get so frustrated by it. And to this day, I think they even re-released it on the Switch recently. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy that because it caused me too much trouble as a child.
Especially with a Disney, based off a children's kind of Disney movie, you'd think they'd make it to where kids could play it too.
Probably, I bet it was something really simple. I just didn't understand that made sense, and I just didn't know how to do it. I don't remember, but I just have memories of having to jump on the heads of giraffes and time it like pinball and jump across, and there was vines, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the second or third level, and I just couldn't do it.
Midnight Twin said the Lion King game sucked. It was so hard.
Yeah,
so.
Tim said.
Well, there you go.
Tim said he thinks that's what he said too.
Yeah,
that's his least favorite.
So I'm vindicated. There we go.
Yeah,
maybe.
Definitely got people to back you up there.
Yeah,
I always have people say stuff like that because it's something you wouldn't think, and then
right. So far, we've gotten the Lion King tied at the top. 2 guests have said that, and then 2 other guests have said that McDonald's game.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I don't know. I don't know, but
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, whatever it was. You should definitely stream yourself conquering that game sometime.
I should.
You can't let those giraffes get the best of you.
Yeah.
You definitely. Who knows? It'll probably be super easy now, and you'll be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I'll probably breeze through it in 20 minutes or something. I don't know.
Oh,
that would be interesting to try, though. I should give that a shot.
I definitely think you have to stream that sometime.
That'd be fun.
It's definitely worth a shot.
Coming back to conquer.
That's a good idea.
however many years later.
Conquering my childhood demons in
Yes,
video games.
literally. That is so funny. Yeah, so yeah, that's like tied up there, top of the list now
Yeah.
for worst game ever.
Right.
That's really funny that Tim said that. I don't remember him saying that. I must have missed that part when he was on here. That's really great.
Yeah, so don't play it, guys. And I don't feel bad saying that because I don't think Disney needs the money.
Right.
I think they'll be fine. Yeah, so
Let's talk about. I've got a few comments already about your background.
yeah, I was gonna say
yes.
you have a lot of Funko Pops back
So
there.
Steph mentioned that you have Eevee and Pikachu, so
I
playing
do.
it very team neutral. I don't know if anyone watched our podcast with Zarners, but it was definitely not neutral. He brought out the Pikachu and everything. So
Yeah, I had to bring them both. They're like, they did, Build-A-Bear did them a couple years ago, and I got them both for my wife, actually, and now they've kind of become my son's toys. But I went and dug them out and put them up for today because I thought they'd be very fitting for this.
Yes.
yeah, I love it. That's
They
so
actually, I don't think the batteries work, but here, hold on. Oh, where's the thing? I gotta find it. There's a little voice box, but it got stuck somewhere. It's not in the foot anymore.
Uh-oh.
Build-A-Bear has all the extra features.
Come on.
Yeah.
I know it's in here. I'm like just trying to squeeze it to find it now.
Didn't they announce that they're doing something with Animal Crossing? I
Yes.
swear.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, they did.
Okay, I was gonna say, I swear I'm not making
I just
that
pulled
up.
the heart out of Eevee.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't know that do that. I was like, oh, is that the voice box? No, it's not. There's a little hole in the top of it that my son ripped into it.
Oh,
So it's kind of falling apart, but I
Okay,
can't find the voice box. But anyway,
I'd like to
Nope.
say on I gotta speak for the Unkindness Lounge here. Me and Raven do not support the murder of Pokemon, so
we don't.
I didn't even know they had that. I guess that's a thing, right?
I just did not expect that from you.
I didn't expect that either.
No one
Now
saw.
we're gonna unfollow me, right?
oh my goodness.
Guys, that's the problem with live stream. You can't just cut that crap out. Like
That's
I'm
awesome.
annoyed I can't find the voice box. But anyway, they both make Pikachu and Eevee noises, which is really
That's
cute.
awesome.
But I can't find the little squeaker thing to make it work.
So I think they did say they were doing something with Animal Crossing, and I'm hoping they do a little more, like hopefully just like a few of the characters, besides like Tom Nook. But
yeah,
I've already decided if they have an Isabelle, then I'll get an Isabelle. Because
we have to Isabelle, right?
yeah, I can't stand Tom Nook. I know he's like the face of Animal Crossing, but I just don't like that guy. Every time he's around, he just wants your money.
Yeah.
Well, Isabelle's in Smash now, so maybe she's more popular to earn her own.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm excited. I'm like, that would be super fun, like even as an adult, to just go to Build-A-Bear and make my own Animal Crossing character.
Well, apparently you can do it online now too, so I'll save myself the embarrassment because I always feel awkward going in there.
No, I'm pretty sure both of these I ordered online, and they came in a box, and they have clothes that come with them too. Like Pikachu has like pajamas that have Pokeballs on them, and Eevee Pikachu has a Charizard costume, and Eevee has Pokeball pajamas.
Right.
You can like dress them up and everything, and it comes with all the stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
No, I'm full on making my own.
Yeah.
If that actually happens, no shame. Yeah, so that's really cool. I love. Okay, where you put Eevee, that is so cute. I love it.
That worked out.
Let's talk about your Funko collection because I don't know if you watched Vile on last week, but they've got like a huge collection.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about how popular that is, especially in this community. And you've got a pretty good collection going on too. I
mean, I would move my camera, but Steph has seen me try to do that on stream, and I knocked everything over, so I'm not going to do that. But
I've heard that story.
You might have been there too, actually, when that happened.
I was.
But I have a shelf over on that wall of pretty much all MCU Marvel Funko Pops. Probably have like 100 on that wall over there. I need to post a picture. I've been meaning to like start sharing these on social media, and then I keep forgetting. But it's something I didn't expect in this Twitch community is also finding so many Funko collectors, and I think a lot of that is through Sully and his community.
Right.
Like it's something that I've kind of had as a personal hobby, but I've never really gotten involved in the Funko community itself. And now there's just all these people that are fans of it. So when I started setting up my whole stream, I mean, I have my office here that I use for work, and I've decorated it for things I like, but I kind of started moving things around to be on camera because I thought it was a really cool thing to have in the background. And like behind me, like Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite Marvel movies. So I have a whole bunch of those. And then a bunch of like Iron Man. And like I said, I have a bunch more Marvel ones over there. And then Ninja Turtles is something I grew up on. It's kind of showing off some things I'm a fan of. Is a really cool way to, I built a little collection that started years ago before I had a son, and now it's kind of tapered off a little bit. But it's been a fun little hobby over the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, I think.
So do you have all of them out in front of the boxes in their box behind it, or are those like other ones too?
Yeah, no, those are the boxes that they come in. It kind of adds like I think it like adds color. I have some that are a little rarer that I keep in the box just because I don't want anything to happen to them if they're like worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I take most of them out. I like to display them like with the boxes, and it's a whole fun, colorful thing. Yeah.
It's
I
a
love
cool way to display them.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, and then I got like the giant Groot right there, baby Groot, that is like a foot tall that I really like.
Just learned last week that there's like giant ones. I had no idea.
Yeah, I think that's the only big one I have. But actually, I'll pull one more down here.
Definitely
above
so
me,
more popular than I even knew.
I don't know if you're a Power Rangers fan, but this is the Ultra Zord from Power Rangers. I have a whole bunch of Power Rangers up above me, but this thing's like also a foot tall. It's huge and it's heavy.
That's awesome.
But
so cool.
Yeah, the beast.
Yeah, it's so cool that they have literally like one for everything that you can be a fan of nowadays. So
right,
it's kind of interesting. I had to explain to a coworker recently what they were because someone mentioned, like, I'm on cameras for work now and then, working from home, and someone mentioned my pop collection, and someone's like, "What's a Funko Pop?" And then I had to explain it's like these little figures that are like for pop culture, and like, oh, I know what those are. I just didn't know the name, but like, yeah, there's one for everything, like movies, TV, comics. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Super cool.
Have you been to the HQ for Funko?
No, that's out in Seattle, I think, on the West Coast. So it's something I'd like to get someday. But yeah, it's a bit of a trip just to go out for that. So I mean, I would love to visit the West Coast, and if I ever do, I would love to go there. But it's not something I can do a trip just for that.
Right.
No kidding. That'd be cool.
I've seen pictures of it. It looks awesome.
Oh, I can only imagine. I bet that'd be super fun.
Someday I'd like to go to PAX, like PAX, the original PAX West. I think it's in Seattle. And if so, then that'd be a good opportunity to go to the Funko HQ as well, I think.
For sure.
Maybe someday. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I definitely love the collection. I always think it looks super cool when people like have that as their background. Like it's
Thank you.
100%. It's me and Raven like our doors.
Like
we're door enthusiasts.
Right?
So
I never realized that you both have a door in the back. That was pretty good.
Yep. I was like, sorry, I got nothing cool to show off like that.
Yeah. This is really the only way that my desk would fit in this room. So you get the doors. It's all good.
Eventually I want to put lights up around these because the wall is like this weird yellow color I don't like. So put some lights up, make it look a little nicer. Someday. We'll get there.
Yeah, no, it seems like you've got a good setup. Is that pretty much like your room, man cave or whatever to do? Like
kind of. I mean, before last year, before last year, it was just our room that had the PC, and I mean, mostly I would use it, but it was just kind of our family's office room, and then slowly it's turned more and more into my collection, and now that I work from home every day, it's basically become my own personal office. That wasn't the intent in the past, but it's kind of turned into that now that my job went fully remote last year. I'm in here 8 hours a day every day, so I want to make it enjoyable to be in here. So I've kind of expanded how I had it decorated a little bit.
No, that's super, super cool. I love it. What's the poster in the background?
Oh, that one. It's just space, purple and blue. It's like a big planet. It's like a metal poster I got. I got it actually just for Christmas.
almost
just
looked
needed
like
some color.
lightsabers from like Star Wars or something. I was thinking
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
lightsabers.
it's literally just a colorful planet. It's a cool metal poster that hangs on the wall with magnets.
That's cool.
What
Yeah.
about the other framed thing?
Oh, so that one is the TARDIS. I can kind of pan it.
We're just kind of like creeping in your room right
Yeah,
now,
that's okay.
pointing things
You
out.
got
It's
Oh, I see
there you
Guardians
go.
of the Galaxy up there. Okay.
Yeah, I got
cool.
the TARDIS and Guardians of the Galaxy there. I used to have my Doctor Who pops on these shelves, but I decided to switch it up and put my Guardians ones there. But I still have some of them up above me.
Cool.
Yeah, big fan of Doctor Who, so I have the TARDIS there, and then like I said, Guardians is a movie I love. So
Right.
Yeah.
Do you
Awesome.
have a favorite of
Favorite
in your
pop?
collection? Yeah.
Huh. I have a couple. It's hard to decide. Let me get one. Hold on a sec.
Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Here we are.
I need to get like one Funko Pop now, just like set on my bookshelf or something.
Yeah, well,
And at
seeing
least, like,
seeing
part of
everyone
it.
else's collection makes me wanna get more,
know,
but
right?
I know how dangerous that can be sometimes.
I know
with
it's
me.
like you probably
Es-
get one and then the
Right.
game over.
Especially because they're on Amazon, and it's like, oh my gosh, you type in one one thing you like. So for me at the time, it was Fortnite, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have that one, I have that one, I have that one. Like skins in the game, so I just started adding to my cart.
Right.
Got them all.
And I was
Yeah.
gonna say, you probably would have no idea how many of that genre or whatever they would
Right.
have and went to look and then be like, oh,
I've had
yeah.
to limit myself like to specific, I guess, genres because you can get carried away just with everything you like. And I mean, I
Right,
kind of
yeah.
have a bunch of different groups. Like I said, the main ones I collect are Marvel, like the MCU specifically, but there's other non like movie Marvel pops that you can get crazy with. And I collect Iron Man because I like Iron Man, and which actually leads me to the one I wanted to show off here. So when I got married 7 years ago, Tim was the best man in my wedding, and he
Aw.
got me this as a wedding gift, and it is
No way.
That's
a
awesome.
Comic-Con
That is
exclusive,
so cool.
like a super rare Tony Stark pop
Wow.
that I don't even know how much it's worth, but I know it's worth a lot. And
All right, another
that is-
shout out to Tim.
yeah, that is
Tim,
not only
let's go, man.
appreciated because it's one of my favorite characters in any media ever, but also that it came from my best friend Tim as a wedding gift. So that's
Right.
one that this is one that, like I said, I have it in a hard box because it's like
Yeah,
super
for sure,
rare
for
and
sure.
super special. So I don't want my son to come in here and grab it.
Yeah.
So I keep it protected. And then the other one, I'm not going to grab it, but I got to meet the original Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson, at a convention a couple years ago, and I got her to sign my Pink Ranger Funko
Oh,
Pop.
that's so cool.
So I have that one up above me here that I'm not going to pull down. But yeah, those are probably two of the ones. I got a picture with her too. So I got a picture with the Pink Ranger and got her to sign a Funko Pop. So that was pretty cool. Like a childhood dream come true.
Right.
That's really cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have more than what's just displayed behind you, I would assume.
Yeah, I have a bunch above me and a bunch over on this wall. And then speaking of Harry Potter, my wife she doesn't really collect them, but she collects Harry Potter. So in our living room downstairs, we have a shelf on the wall that probably has, I don't know, 40 or 50 Harry Potter Funko Pops that we've gotten over the years. It's like her whole.
That's awesome.
We keep them displayed. Like she has like all the books down there and her wand from when we went to Wizarding World, and it's kind of like our Harry Potter shelf downstairs. That's like all
That
her
is
stuff.
literally why I can't get into this, because if I did, I would want every single Harry Potter one. And if
There's a lot.
if you have like 50 down there, that's a dangerous game that
Yeah.
I
Are there
can't.
even 50 Harry Potter characters? I don't know.
Well,
Not
I mean,
do they
she has
have,
a couple different versions of
Okay,
like
okay.
Harry and Ron and Hermione.
Gotcha.
And there's like they have the ghosts like Nearly Headless Nick and Moaning Myrtle and.
I was gonna say, even if they have like the like creature, like the owl. Like
Oh yeah, there's like a basilisk and the Buckbeak, and testing my Harry Potter knowledge on names, but Fox the Phoenix, like a bunch of animal creatures too. Yeah.
That's awesome. I know Vile showed us last week, and I don't know if you guys have it. I don't remember if it was the 10-inch tall or the 18-inch tall Harry Potter.
Oh, I've seen that. There's
it
a
was
huge
really
Harry Potter.
cool, and he's got the little owl thing, and it's like the size of a regular Funko Pop on his arm.
Yeah.
I thought that one was really cool.
So cool.
We have a life-size Dobby that's about the size of Groot. I'm not good at
Oh,
pointing.
that's
Like it's
cool.
about
That's
that
awesome.
size. And I think I've seen like a life-size Hedwig too, but that Harry Potter I think is like bigger than my head. The one that Vile probably
Yeah, I
has.
think
the
it was
big one.
probably an 18-inch one because it
Yeah.
was really, really big.
And
So.
and I saw if you know Tanette, she was streaming
Yeah.
the other weekend and she has a Batman that's like I think bigger than that. It looked like it was
Oh my
2 feet tall,
goodness.
the size of a small child. It
That's
was
crazy.
insane how big it was. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I like until last week I had no idea that you could get big ones like that.
Yeah.
They're rare. They don't do them a lot, but every
Right.
once in a while. Yeah. It's a fun
Dang.
hobby I got into. Yeah, didn't expect it to grow into what it was, but now it's kind of taken over my office a little bit.
That's yeah, no,
That's
it's always
awesome, though.
impressive and it's cool
For
to
sure.
see what each person really likes and stuff like that, that does collect them just because there's so many different
Right.
ones you can.
Yeah.
I know we have a family friend that's like a very big like Jordan shoe person. He really likes Jordans. He runs a lot of like shoe conventions and stuff, and he collects a lot of Funko Pops that are NBA players. And so like his walls are like covered in NBA Funko Pops. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older, and probably until I got mine, that I realized that there were more than just like sports Funko Pops. I didn't know anything about them. And I was like, oh, okay. There's literally a Funko Pop for anything. That's
Yeah, I
kind of
did
cool.
not know that. Crazy. Yeah.
Right.
They've
I
gotten a
love
lot more advanced now too with poses and everything. Like before they were just like, standing with their arms down and that's it. Now they have crazy poses and do all this weird stuff and like, this one's holding a guitar up here, like Doctor Who holding a guitar,
Yeah.
like flying Rocket Raccoon with a jetpack, like all this crazy stuff.
That's
super
awesome.
cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a dangerous hobby, I feel like.
Yeah. And that's why I had to kind of calm down when I had a son because I couldn't continue to keep buying them all the time.
Mhm.
I hit a good stopping point with my collection when Avengers Endgame came out because I'm like, okay, there's a good stopping point for the movies. I don't have to keep collecting the MCU ones. I have my set that I like the way it looks. I don't have to keep finding space for new ones. So it's something that I don't get nearly as many as I used to. I might get a couple here and there if I see something that I really, really like. But
Yeah.
that's also a matter of running out of space for them.
Yeah, no kidding. That adds up. Yeah, so man, I was just gonna ask you something and I can't even remember.
I got one. What do you have your top 3 favorite Pokemon?
Ooh, yeah.
Don't say them out loud.
Oh,
I just gotta know.
that's a tough question. There's so many. I think one of those 3 has to be Blastoise because Squirtle was my starter growing up. I know a lot of people like Charizard, but Blastoise is the one who I
Blastoise is
love just because that
cool.
was my first starter.
Yeah.
And I think part of that's also because the anime made me really love Squirtle because of the Squirtle Squad. With the sunglasses. I don't know if you ever watched like the original anime, but there was the Squirtle Squad with all their glasses, and Ash's Squirtle had like the crazy pointy triangle one.
The Squirtle Squad was so cool.
Yeah. So that's probably one. Another one I really like is Gallade. He's like kind of a humanoid thing with like blade arms. I just always really liked him. There's probably a really big one that I'm forgetting. Let me think. I'd have to like pull up a Pokédex and start looking. It's just something like I try not to. Whenever the new games come out, I always try to pick like someone from the new generation to like try new ones. But then that means like there's like what 600 something Pokemon. It's hard to keep them all.
I think there's
I know
over
who, by the one.
800 now.
I can't. Yeah. Total. Probably one of my favorites is Arcanine. Original like Fire Dog.
Cool. Yeah.
I've always loved Growlithe
Right.
and Arcanine. So I'd say those are 3. Like mostly original gen, but trying to branch out of that, I like Gallade a little bit too.
I was gonna try to guess them, but I wouldn't have guessed those anyways.
I'm sorry.
So. No, it's all good. I would have got them wrong, so I'm glad you saved me the embarrassment. Blastoise is cool though.
Have you played any of the games on the Switch, the Pokemon games?
Yeah, I played Sword. I played. I think I beat. I didn't.
Like?
I liked it. It was it felt a little empty in some spaces. Like I really liked being able to explore that big overworld, And then, overall, it's Pokemon. It's always going to be a certain level of the same thing. Find your team, build your team, train them up, beat the final Elite Four. Like, it was fun. I think it had some potential that I hope to see maybe expanded on in this new one, making it feel a little more alive, I guess would be a good way to put it. Like, instead of just, there were some issues with, like, I think performance and everything, but overall I found it fun. I mean, I have yet to play a Pokemon game I haven't enjoyed just because of what it is. Like I said earlier, it was a part of my childhood, so I'm always going to take a certain level of enjoyment no matter what. And a lot of what I enjoy in those games is finding my team and building a team, like finding the right like type combinations and move sets, and like building the team that's really fun to play as. And like, even if the overall story maybe was kind of a little bland, I think overall it still was fun because I'm still building a team and fighting with them. And this one I made sure to go through and I nicknamed all of them, and I tried to challenge myself by making them all nicknames from Marvel, because I guess I was just in a really big Marvel mood when I was playing that. So I originally started naming them all after the Guardians of the Galaxy, then I expanded to other Marvel superheroes. So honestly, I think some of this generation I might not know all their real names because I named them all basically, like I nicknamed all of them. But yeah, it was still a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Do you think you'll get Pokemon Snap?
That's one I'm on the fence for. It looks really fun, and I think I actually honestly think it's something my son might enjoy watching, which as he's now 2.5, and as he's getting older, I'm trying to maybe find ways to start introducing him slowly to some of these games. I think that might be a fun one just to kind of explore and take photos and stuff.
Like super chill kind of.
Yeah.
It seems a lot less violence oriented. So
yeah, I want it just. I'm trying to find something to like introduce me to Pokemon. Right. Now it's like huge again because I never really played any of that. So I'm like, I've been trying to like find a good introduction game, and I'm like, well, that'll be probably
that's a good way to start because it's
learning them and stuff. So I'm
for sure.
Pretty excited. Yeah.
Have you played the Let's Go games?
I haven't. No, that was one that I just. It's funny because when Pokemon Go came out, on the mobile game, the week it came out, literally the week it started blowing up, I fell off my back step and sprained my ankle and couldn't walk for like a week.
Oh, no.
So like in the middle of everybody being really into Pokemon Go, going out exploring, I was stuck and like I couldn't walk with a swollen ankle. I had a boot for like a week. So I mean, I still really got into that craze, a little bit delayed, but I enjoyed that. But then when those Let's Go games came out, I'm like, okay, it looks cool. And then like the Pokeball mechanic, I was kind of like, I don't know if I would enjoy that. And then it was something I always planned to pick up and then just never got around to. It looks really pretty, and I love that world. So it's something I think I'll probably get eventually. I definitely want to try it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I was watching Zarner stream it a while back, and I mean, it looked really fun. I don't think I gave it enough credit when it came out that at its core it's still a Pokemon game, even if the battling and catching mechanics are a little different. I think it would still be fun to play, so I want to get to it.
It definitely brought back the nostalgia for me playing it, and it's got some really cool new features too. Like I know there's one spot in the game where you can actually which I didn't do it, but you can bring in your Pokemon from your Pokemon Go account into the game. Oh wow. I thought that was super cool. Yes.
I didn't know you could do that.
Right. Only the Gen 1s, I think, because it's a Gen 1 game, but I couldn't get it to work for myself. But yeah, that was super cool. I think you can do
that. The game? Lizard? Did you ever finish the game?
Yeah, I did. I played Let's Go Eevee. So me and Stevie the Eevee.
Yeah.
I was watching you. You streamed a little bit of that, right?
I did. That was a few months ago, but I had a lot of fun playing it. Yes.
And you can put little. They could wear clothes, right? At least
they could wear clothes, and you could play with them.
Got to catch a little bit of that.
It was really cute. But yeah, so you saw the released footage for the new game they're making too, right? How do you feel about that? That one.
The Arceus one, right? Or the remake?
It's the open world looking one.
Yeah, the Legends one. It looks really cool. I mean, it's kind of hard to judge on like just a teaser because
Yeah.
who knows how much of that is just a trailer versus real gameplay. But I think if it takes what Sword and Shield did with the open world and just puts more in it or makes it more fun to explore, I think that could be really, really amazing. I'm really excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I think it looks
And
really cool.
like adding different starters from different generations is really unique too. I never would have expected that. Because I
Yeah,
think each of those 3 are from different games.
that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it was Cyndaquil,
Oh, okay.
Rowlet, which was from Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Cyndaquil's from Gold and Silver, and then the third one was the Otter, right? From
Oh,
Black and White. Oshawott.
yeah,
Is that his name?
Oshawott, maybe.
I think those are the 3.
I think that's right.
But they're all from different generations, at least I know that.
Right.
That's cool. I totally forgot they had announced those that game too.
Yeah. Do you guys know when those are coming out by any chance?
I think it's
I don't remember.
next year sometime.
Okay.
For
Oh, so
Legends,
we got a while.
So is that early
the remake
announcement?
is later this year, and I think Legends is sometime next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lizard, do you
Good.
think you'll pick up Snap?
Yes. I will pick up Snap. I've never played Pokemon Snap before, but it sounds right up my alley. I mean, I could literally, I don't know.
I missed that one too. Like, I don't know. I think I played a little bit of it, but maybe with a friend or something. I never owned it. So, like, initially, I wasn't sure about the reveal because I didn't know if I liked the gameplay. But every time I watch those trailers, it looks really fun. So,
Yeah.
I definitely think just, especially these days, I can use any kind of chill relaxation game I can find.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful.
Right.
Like, just showing the different places and stuff like that. Like, definitely, like, visually looks really good, at least in the trailer.
Did it come out on Nintendo 64? Is that what it came
I
out
believe
for?
so. I think
Yeah, so like on the Wii U, when you're on the shop, you can still buy it, download it, and play it on the Wii U.
Can you really?
Yeah, I think that's super cool.
When is it coming out?
I want to say it's like May or
April.
June, right?
I thought it was in April, yeah.
June?
Maybe not.
Wow. That's in a month.
April 30th.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
super
so a
cool.
little over a month. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Pokemon's one of those games.
1999.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I was a whole 2 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, making me feel so old.
Had to throw that out there.
I was 2 years old, to be fair, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Pokemon's one of those things that I could look at a cool, sketch of a Pokemon and it'll make me excited. I don't know what it is. I really only have an attachment to like Gen 1 mainly and then a little bit of Gen 2 and 3. But I don't know. Something about Pokemon Snap just going around and taking pictures of Pokemon seems like yeah, their natural habitat seems like the coolest thing.
Something I sometimes forget is when I was in grade school, my friend and I used to go to the mall on Saturdays and we competed in the Pokemon Trading Card League. And we would have Pokemon decks and you could play other players. And it was like this official thing that was like at the bookstore. And you'd play other players. And if you won, you like get like badges, like they'd stamp your book. And we would do that like every weekend for like a year. We'd go to the mall on Saturdays. I sometimes forget I did that, but I was really into the card game when I was younger.
Right.
And then I kind of faded away from it, but it was really fun.
You didn't just get the cards. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Cool. Did you ever like collect the cards at all, or?
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't old enough to like actually collect in the sense of like I collect enough to like make a deck and play the game.
Right.
I think, but I didn't collect them like as a collector because I was a kid and didn't really care about that. I just wanted to play games with my friends. But yeah. I mean, I remember when everybody was talking about holographic Charizard and all that, like that was right in my youth. And like we would our school banned Pokemon because we would all take our Game Boys and play it at recess. And they were like, no, you have to go play. No more Game Boys at school. We'd like be sitting there with our link cables, trading Pokemon and battling like in the wall. And they're like, no, go play on the playground. No more Pokemon.
God,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're
that
doing that
is-
with cell phones now.
Yeah, pretty much.
literally. Dang,
That's amazing.
man. Pokemon's so big still. It's
Yeah.
just that they're still going.
Yeah, I'd say I think it is the biggest video game based franchise in the
Yeah,
world.
it's interesting because when I think of like video games I love, that's never the first one that comes to mind. But when I
Yeah.
look back on it, it's been a part of my life
Right.
for 20 years now. When the trailer came out, or when that Pokemon Direct came out the other week, where they were talking about the remake, and that trailer started with like a recap of all the different games and devices and everything. Like that's how it started, was like a montage of through the years of Pokemon. I was sitting there getting nostalgic, like, oh my gosh, I've done almost all of this. I never really thought about how much it's been involved in my life for so long. It's really cool to think about. Like,
Right.
you know, I think of things like Halo and Smash Brothers and some of those bigger titles I've been, I guess, a little more of a passionate fan about. But Pokemon is something I've always been involved in it, even if it's not been like fully immersed in it. I've always played them. I've always enjoyed it. It's kind of cool to think about. It's been around
Right.
since I was like, I don't know, 8 or maybe younger than that. I forget what year the first one came out, but it's like I've played everyone since they came out, and I've always enjoyed them.
Did you ever get into the TV show at all?
Oh yeah, I watched the anime
Yeah.
for a long time.
See, Indigo League is like the best.
I was just gonna say, when Indigo League came out
of
and they had
TV.
the new song that had Meryl in it, and everybody used to call him Peekaboo because no one knew who that was. Like that was the childhood like thing. Like, oh, did you guys see Peekaboo? Who's this new Pokemon? It looks like Pikachu, but he's blue. And it was Meryl, but no one knew who it was. Like that was such a big thing. I literally remember the Saturday morning when the Indigo League, not the Indigo League, the Orange Island,
the one
the
after?
one that came right after that.
Yeah.
When that premiered, I remember my brother and I sitting downstairs and watching TV and seeing the new theme song and losing our minds. Like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What is going on? It was crazy. It's so much
That's
fun.
amazing. Yeah. The episode 1 of the Indigo League, first Pokemon show ever. Ash Ketchum gets stuck with Pikachu, the last starter Pokemon that Professor Oak, I think it was. I think it's Professor Oak in the first one, yeah. Had for him. And Pikachu didn't trust him at all until Ash saved him from a fierce Pidgey that was trying to attack them. And they became best friends. Yeah. It's a touching story. It brings a tear to my eye.
It's good stuff.
And that was when people fell in love with Pikachu, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Big stuff.
Back when he was a much chubbier little rodent than he is now.
Little lightning rat.
Yep.
It's so funny to think about sometimes. All right.
So what all, like, you obviously have the Switch. What else do you have console-wise or that you game on?
So I have a Switch. I have a PS4, which is actually what I do a lot of my streaming on. I have an original Xbox One, the big brick that sounds like an airplane taking off because it's pretty old now. It chugs along. We have that in our family room because it has like the TV pass through, so we kind of have all of our streaming and everything feed through that. And then like I said, I recently got an actual PC. I had one I built like 8 years ago that started falling apart on me, so I had to finally get a new one, and I upgraded to like a mid-range gaming PC. So I haven't really I've never been into PC gaming before, so I've kind of been dipping my toe in here and there, and streaming some things on that. But yeah, I used to do most of my gaming on Xbox, and lately that's actually kind of shifted to PS4 a little bit with games like Spider-Man and Final Fantasy, and that's where I got Fall Guys, so I play that there, like some things like that. I kind of just, I shift around to wherever my friends are usually.
Yeah,
that's cool. Do you have any
interest? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have any interest in getting like a PS5 or the new Xbox?
Yes, I definitely want to get the new Xbox, mostly because I think my current Xbox is going to die any day now. But I'm also holding out hope that when Halo Infinite releases later this year, they're going to do a special edition Halo console, because something I've actually done is most consoles I own, I try to get like a special edition of them. So like I had the Halo Reach 360, and I have a Halo 5 Xbox One. I had the Wind Waker Wii U, and I had a bright red Mario Wii. So like I kind of like to not always get them at launch and wait for a special edition.
Right.
I have like a Metroid 3DS. I'm missing one.
Really cool.
Yeah, so like I kind of like to go for
That's
those
awesome.
those themed ones, and I couldn't do that with the Switch because I wasn't patient enough to wait for that, and they didn't really do any anyway. But oh, and my PS4, I have like it's not based on a game, but it's like translucent blue, like a special edition blue PS4 they came
That's
out
cool.
with.
Dude, that's cool.
So I like to wait and get them till I can get like something that's kind of colorful instead of having a black box in my room
Right,
sometimes.
yeah.
So I'm hoping I can get a special Halo edition console and continue that trend. PS5 I want to get eventually too because I want to keep playing Final Fantasy Remake,
Right.
but probably not in as much of a rush for that because my PS4 is still going strong. I'm enjoying that. I'm working through a backlog, like I said, of God of War right now, and I still have Horizon Zero Dawn I want to play on there. Like so some of those big PS4 titles I haven't gotten to.
I really want to play. I'm still waiting to start, but
that game looks really, really good.
It does.
Yeah, I started it like 2 years ago, and it was fun, and then I just got distracted with something else and didn't get back to it.
Yeah, I actually got my first like special edition console today.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
My wife and I, we have the all black Nintendo Switch, and then we have had a yellow Switch Lite, and that's what she's been playing Animal Crossing on. Well, she's always wanted a regular Switch. Well, we wanted another regular Switch so she could play it on the TV as well, and she's always wanted the Animal Crossing Switch. So
that
luckily,
nice.
Yeah, Target had 2 of them left, and she went there today and bought one, and then we sold our Switch Lite. So small upgrade, and it's super cool.
So cute. It looks so like the colors and everything. I'm like, I want one. I already have a Switch. It's perfectly fine.
I think our PS4 might be some sort of special edition too. It's all white, but I don't know much about it. I'm not much of a PlayStation guy myself, so
I think white isn't the standard for that. That makes sense.
I never knew, and then yeah, I learned. I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. That PS4 is all black, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Yeah,
that's how they always are.
The first time I went over there, I was like, why is your PS4 white? I never seen a white PS4, so it's gonna be something. If anyone knows, let us know.
Right.
It's not the Destiny one, is it? I know there's a white one that had Destiny stuff all over it.
I don't think so. I think it's just plain white.
Just white?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Unless they didn't make a lot of those or something.
I'm not sure. I just know you'd be setting up your all black one. I'm like, okay, getting fancy over here.
So Tony, if you were to create your own video game, what do you think you would do?
So 2 genres I really enjoy are JRPGs and I don't know what the genre is, maybe like action adventure, kind of like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, like, combo based, run around, defeat all the enemies kind of things. So something that maybe combines the 2 of those. And now that I say that, it honestly sounds a lot like Final Fantasy VII Remake, to be honest. Like the JRPG with like crazy action mixed in. So I don't know exactly, but something like that, I think, where you can like build a party, but still, and then you can kind of like rotate members and have different, different interactions between them, but then also have like that really fun actiony combat of like different weapons and all that kind of stuff. So something like that. Another game it reminds me of, which is one I also really like, is Xenoblade Chronicles. That's like a big JRPG that has a really fun combat. So I don't know, something like that. Maybe they already exist, but I think that's maybe why I gravitate towards those games, because they
it's hard to like
for sure
not describe something that you just already love, like again.
Yeah. But I mean, RPG, a cool story driven RPG that has like a customizable team of characters and like fun combat, something like that is pretty much gonna be my go-to when I find games that fit that general criteria.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds awesome.
That'd be super cool. Is there like a certain like theme you would go with? Like, are you super into magic or like medieval times or the Wild West?
It's a good question. I do very much like Magic, maybe, but honestly, there's so much like high fantasy style Magic stuff already. So
Right.
maybe more, I guess, more something a little more modern, but a cool like magical take on something like more in the present day, or honestly, more like I'd almost say more futuristic is kind of like the
Yeah.
style I like. Technology based, that kind of something like that. I like that aesthetic of like cyberpunk. Even though I haven't with cyberpunk, the aesthetic of that game is something I'm very into. Like the future, super tech based world is always really cool to me.
Yeah.
Like that Blade Runner style.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And unique. There's not too many games like that, but the ones that there are out there are typically big hits.
Yeah.
I only think of like 4 or 5, and they've all been great games, including Cyberpunk. Because I don't know, I've never played Cyberpunk, so it's hard to judge. But based off what I've seen, it's still a really cool game. I know it's let down a lot of people, but it still looks really cool.
Yeah, even with all the bugs, it's a game I certainly want
Right.
to play at some point because I just love that genre, like that.
Yeah.
Not genre, that setting, I guess, is really
For
interesting to me. And it has Keanu Reeves in it. Can't beat that.
Yeah, exactly. Don't touch his dog. So, have you been playing any games on your PC at all? Or mainly your consoles?
Not too much on my PC yet. I'm still like easing my way into that. I mean, some of the games I've streamed, like Hades and Rocket League, I've been playing on PC. Those are games that are on other consoles as well. But when I play those on stream, I play them from the PC. A game that I have on PC that you mentioned recently that I've wanted to get back into is Minecraft, because I played Minecraft like a decade ago, back when it was still in beta. And I recently learned that I still have, I bought it for like $5 years ago, and I still have like that account tied to it. I've been dabbling with trying to get back into that. The problem I have with Minecraft is I'm not a creative person just to go in there and build things. I need like a purpose or an objective.
Right.
So I've been toying with like what I want to do with that, but it's something I'd like to try again because I've watched a lot of people play it, and it always looks really fun to me.
For sure.
And what I played in the past had a big world people had built that I got to mess around with, and that was really fun.
Yeah, I need to watch one of your Minecraft streams, Lizard.
Well, I've only done
Have
one,
you
and I was
yet? Yeah,
I did on Friday, but I
you
got
said you were
really
going to, and
sick.
I haven't caught one yet.
Yeah, I got really sick, and I was like falling asleep sitting here playing it. I was playing with like one hand like this, and so I had to cut it short, and I died a lot. But I'm definitely gonna dive into it. That's like the game.
It always does seem
I'm
like an
jumping into
interesting game to try to like just
Right.
mess around and get into, for sure.
My main goal is to I know it's gonna be a walk, not a run, is to beat the Ender Dragon.
Oh wow!
And so I think I'm gonna start a realm, and so whoever's around that night can just join the realm, and it'll save whatever progress I get to, and we can hopefully someone can help me achieve that goal. So if you want to jump back into it, hop in there with me.
That'd be fun.
We'll figure it out. Raven, if you want to learn how to
get Minecraft.
if you want to learn how to craft mines, that's where to do it at.
That'd be cool.
No, Tony, we've got the perfect game recommendation to get you dabbling in some PC gaming.
What's that?
Potentially one of the best PC games ever made that's exclusive to PC.
Oh, I think I know where this is going, but go ahead.
It goes there every time. How do you... Okay, so all I'm gonna say is you need to get Phasmophobia.
Yes.
I can't believe I didn't see that one coming sooner. Yeah.
I think
very low like maintenance when it comes to PC gaming.
Right.
I'm terrible at playing PC, but it's easy to, controls are easy. It's such a fun game. You have to get it.
Here's the thing. I do not do horror. I don't play horror games. I don't watch horror movies. I don't do that stuff. But what's funny is my wife is the complete opposite. So we watch a lot of Achievement Hunter on YouTube, if you're familiar with them, part of Rooster Teeth. And we watch a lot of Minecraft videos, actually one of the things they do a lot. But they play a lot of that game, and my wife watches it, and I don't, but she watches those on her own because she loves it so much. She loves horror stuff. I don't really do that very much. It's something I would be open to try. Maybe. Maybe.
Me and Lizard don't do a lot of horror stuff either. Like I
Right.
get scared easy. I don't watch scary movies. I've not really played scary games, and it's really fun. I think it's just because it's like objective based. Like you actually like that idea of the game is not just to like for them to scare you. Like it's an
Right. It's
actual
kind of like
like
a
objective
puzzle,
based goal. Yeah,
sort of.
you do have to like think and stuff, and it's like super fun to play with friends. I wouldn't play it alone. But
Yeah, I can't play that game alone.
For
I
Tim
mean,
saying he tried to play it by himself and it was not a good time.
it's
I
not.
would like legitimately could not even do the tutorial. I got too scared.
Yeah.
So
I think it's one of those games that everyone needs to experience once with friends, though. Proximity chat, everything, get the full experience, and just play a few maps or until you get your first death, because it really is like a different experience, in my opinion.
It would be fun to try. It's something that's not the, like I don't play those kind of games. Like I tried playing Resident Evil when I was younger, and I hated it because I was just scared.
Right.
And like Silent Hill, and like but I can see how playing that with a group would be fun.
Yeah, this one's a
something
little
that
different.
I've been wanting to try is like play. I don't play games with people very often these days, so that would be fun just to kind of do that. Have some people to play with. I would be open to trying that.
And you said you love games to stream games that you can just like pick up and play for a little bit and don't have to have like a time commitment.
There
That
you
is
go.
the perfect
True.
one. You can literally play that for 30 minutes or like 6 hours, and
Yep.
it's just fun. It'd be, I'm telling you, like if you give it a try, it would be the perfect game to just,
Tomorrow
hop
morning
in.
is Phasmo Friday. I know you might be working, but if you want to ditch work for a little bit and come play, I know I know Somnic and Supreme Steph are gonna be around and
Maybe
playing,
one of these
so-
Fridays. One of the things I've been trying to do lately is take some long weekends now and then and take off some Fridays. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll do that tomorrow, but that would be fun though. Maybe take off a Friday and play with you guys sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things that I've been thinking about recently is, we were talking about this whole Twitch community and all these new friends we've made. Well, I'd like to play games with you guys. Like I have all these people I've met and I haven't gotten to play. Like, I mean, I've played Fall Guys with some people. That's not really the same. You don't get in a party and talk with them very often, but it would be fun to like play something with some of these new friends I've made over the last year. So I would definitely be up for trying that, I think.
It is fun, especially when you're all working together as a group, like to figure out what's going on. It's a lot of fun.
I agree. The teamwork is.
And
I've
especially
learned.
like it gets a little like nerve-wracking or scary sometimes, but like once you actually learn the game and like what you're doing and stuff like that, like it's not as bad, I feel like, when you actually.
They've added some sounds to the game that have really enhanced it lately.
So I don't know any of the new updates, but
the knocking on the windows is probably like the biggest one. It still gets me. You'll just be walking by a window and you'll just hear like a little. I don't know if that sounded like a knock on a window.
I didn't hear anything.
I just kind of I like punched my microphone. Okay, well, it sounds like a knock on a window, but
that's so funny. Yeah.
it's
Anyways,
just
if you
little things
ever
like that.
are interested in trying it, you'll have to let us know, because
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah,
it's super.
Definitely.
It could be really fun if, based off your beliefs, Raven. Go ahead.
Oh, I was like, my beliefs. Yeah. So, do you believe in ghosts, Tony, Mark, Mike? What was it?
So
Oh,
it's something that I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I believe in ghosts, but I wouldn't say I don't. It's something I guess I'm open to, but I've never had like any experience to make me like to lure me in that direction. I tend to be a relatively critical thinker, so generally I'm looking for proof of things. But that's not to say that like I'm just going to completely dismiss that there's something crazy going on out there. I don't know. I've just never really had any experiences to lean me in one direction or the other. It's just kind of like, if there's something out there cool, I'm definitely open to it, but I haven't really had any experiences like that myself.
That's fair.
yeah, That's cool. Yeah, neither have we. So.
Yeah.
And I haven't sought them out because, as I said, I'm a big scaredy cat and don't like that kind of stuff. So that's probably part of the issue, is I haven't ever gone looking for it.
Lucky for you, me and Lizard are gonna do the work for you. We're gonna go ghost hunting, and then we will just report back so that everyone is on the same page.
We're gonna figure it out, so one way or another.
Lizard already bought the flashlights.
I did. I got flashlights. It's the only thing I've gotten, but
Oh,
a step in the right direction, I feel like. So, well, I mean, that's cool though. What would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do though, like if, let's say, like your Funko Pops just start flying off the wall randomly? Would you mark it off
I would
as?
freak out and run away.
Would you mark it off as something?
If they started moving and falling on their own, I'd be like, yeah, we're getting out of here.
No, I can't imagine. That'd be terrifying.
Yeah,
It's like
that would be.
started like lining up and like marching out the room and line, or like stuff like that you see on movies and stuff.
Yeah. Pikachu like moves slightly and looks at you and then goes back.
Yeah, he's just like turns around.
God,
Oh gosh, can you remember?
horrified.
What?
Like I Ellington pops.
Evie's sound thing starts going off even though you removed its heart.
Oh no. Not gonna forget about that one, huh?
Let's be honest.
Evie's perfectly fine. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
Evie's good. Evie's good.
They like hyper focused on them now, like watching for any like signs, like, oh gosh.
So, Tony, you've been doing really good on the streams lately. I know. I was really impressed by your first stream versus like 1 month or 2 months later. That was pretty incredible. Like just the step you took, and I love it. Do you have any like goals for the year as far as streaming goes, or life goes, really?
Yeah. I think I wanna, I've kind of worked on like making a theme for my page, and I think I wanna like, bring that into my stream overlays a little bit. A lot of what I have now is just something I was like testing around with, and I want to make it a little more, I guess, personal instead of just having like a default thing on there.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the whole aspect of like using OBS, and not the audio portion. I hate that, but the visual stuff. I really like, working on the overlays and the scenes and the transitions and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do some work on that for my stream, and I want to, like I said, add some color. That's a bad way to put it because these pops are very colorful, but I want to add like lighting to this room to make it look a little more, I don't know, blue. I love blue. That's my favorite color, if you can't tell from a lot of my stream stuff, but like making it look a better color to go with my pops or something. I don't know, just make my room look a little nicer, I think. But I think more in general, like I said, I think I want to try playing more games with this community in one way or another, whether it's on stream or not. It's hard for me to find time to stream with a full-time job and a kid, but I still want to make the effort to, play more games with people. I think especially this last year, I found myself pretty much home all the time, and streaming was a nice way to have interaction with people, and I'm very grateful for that. And I don't want that to just go away. I want to kind of, I guess, continue to build those friendships and interact with some people a little more. I think would be like off stream or on stream, wherever.
Right.
Just a little more engagement, and playing some games with people is always fun. And I'm hoping one of the other things I want to do is get a capture card so I can stream Switch. And then there's a lot of multiplayer games on there, like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, that I love to play.
Yeah.
And I could play with people on stream. I think that'd be really fun. But capture cards, one of the things I haven't fully committed to get an investment yet for this. It's been like little things here and there. So far, everything I've got for streaming has kind of had a dual purpose. Like the camera, I can talk to friends and family, use that for work. The PC I got for streaming is also because my current old PC broke. The microphone's like the only thing I got just for streaming. But the capture cards like that, I guess more of a commitment. Like it's a much bigger expense. So I've been holding off on that one. But that's probably the next thing I want to work on.
That's awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
And find a way to be more consistent. I barely stream once a week. So trying to find a schedule I can keep up with.
Right. That's a really good way though to get just on that next level of friendship with people in the community. I've made a lot of friends in this community just from playing random games. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if there's ever like a new game that you want to play, I would just find a couple people, reach out and say, "Hey, if you want, we should play this," and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with me and Supreme Steph, which I think me and Steph have already played a couple games together. But that was it was Grounded. That was the first time I ever played with Tim, and
Yeah.
that was awesome. That was just brought the friendship a little closer. Yeah, Baju in the chat, like that was how we became pretty good friends back in the Mixer days. I think Fortnite or something, Call of Duty maybe, one of the first things we played.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
a lot of...
for sure. Yeah, it almost seems like no matter.
Sometimes it makes you more motivated to hop on too and stream, like when you know
Yeah.
you've got people to play with and stuff too.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I feel like no matter what game you want to play, there's always someone in the community that's also playing it or wants to play with people. So it's it's pretty cool. I know Soul Survivor just got Smash Bros for the Switch, and
Yeah.
I've always had it, and I've played it once, I think, offline. So if you want to play, hit me up. We can
for sure
get it going
That'd be fun.
sometime. My Pikachu skills are a little rusty, probably, but
It's such a fun game.
Yeah.
It's a game that I'm never gonna say no to playing it if someone says like, "Hey." It's something that's just been such a fun thing to build friendships over the years. So yeah, I love that one. And I hope that if I go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was like gonna ask you a question, so I want you to finish.
I was gonna say I would like to, once I get a way to stream my Switch, that would probably be a regular thing I would do.
Yeah.
Like someday, or like once a month or something, a Smash stream where people just come in and play with me. That's something I think I'd really like to try to do at some point. Because it seems like there's a lot of people that play it now, so that could be a lot of fun.
The Switch has a lot of good community games as well,
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's what I was gonna kind of ask. Like, I love my Switch and I love playing the Switch, but I don't have a lot of Switch games. I was gonna see if like really either of you guys have any Switch games that you've really enjoyed playing that are just easy to pick up and play, because I feel like the Switch has so many games, but I'm like, I don't have very many, and I love the Switch console in general. But that's a good question for chat too. If anyone has any Switch game recommendations.
Have you played Zelda?
Oh, I love that game, Breath of the Wild.
Just making sure. Yeah, that's
my favorite game I've ever played.
That's always my first recommendation for Switch. And what's crazy is, I think I said this earlier, even though I always recommend it for Switch, I played it on the Wii U, and I own it for the Switch, and I think it's still shrink wrapped because I beat the whole thing on the Wii U, and then I got it for the Switch, and I just haven't dove back in for the second time. I'd have to start all over, but I want to do that too.
With, like, the graphics and everything, it's like, oh, it's such a good all around.
I feel like that would be a good one for whenever you get.
I really only have like that and Animal Crossing and like Mario. I think like Mario Kart and Super Mario, whatever the 3D. Was it 3D?
Yeah,
the game that came out with like the 3 remasters.
Oh, 3D All Stars. Yeah.
I still haven't even started that, but I'm like, it'd be fun to get a few more Switch games just because I don't know. The Switch is just like I feel like it's super just like fun and user friendly.
Yeah, it is.
Got so many good games.
There's a lot of small games on there too, Raven, that are easy to just pick up and play. Like if you just go on there and maybe sort the price from like low to high or something like that cooking simulator game that I got on there. I've never streamed it. Don't know if I ever will because I'm really bad at it. But it's like one of those games, I think it was like $2, and I can just load it up and play for 30 minutes or an hour and not be bored with it every now and then. Like it's super
forget
fun.
Like I never even think about going and looking on the store like actually on the Switch. I need to do that because I bet they would have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool little like cheap games.
Like $60.
Right. And the $60 ones are also really, really good too. I mean, some of them. So I guess it's just
Ravenclaw, let me ask you something. I know you were playing a lot of Final Fantasy. Did you enjoy them? Like did you finish 10?
No, I didn't finish it because when I stopped, it was because it was getting like really, really grindy, which is like because like the boss battles, like I got to a certain point, and then the boss battles got like really hard. So I would have to spend like hours just on that level, like running back and forth, like fighting just to level up.
Yeah.
So I got a little
That tends to happen.
because like I love the story of the games, like or the one I played. Like I was actually really enjoying the story and liking the game just as you could walk through. But when it started getting to where you had to like just stay on that level for like hours just to like level up, that's when I started getting like a little bored. Which I know some people love doing that, but I don't know. I just like being able to like keep going and keep getting like the story, especially when it like started getting really, really good. So that's kind of when I like stopped playing, I guess. Which I feel like I didn't have a ton left. But yeah, the boss battles just got like so hard where I would just have to like keep staying on that one, level for like forever, just like level up my guys. I think it's because I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning. So I wasn't like using people equally. I would use like one person the whole time. And so then when I got like further into the game, like everyone else was like super weak. So I think that's kind of like what slowed me down a lot. If I would have like known that from the beginning, I could have like kind of leveled everyone up as I went and not just waited till I was that far into the game. But I did like I liked the characters and I really liked the story for sure.
I feel like there's a big Switch game I'm blanking on that'd be really good, but I can't think. I mean, what I was gonna say along the Final Fantasy route, I know the original 7 is on there, and what they did was they made like a fast forward button, so you can like skip wild encounters and you can fast forward battles to make them go faster. But it's still like the original game from 15
I
years
actually
ago.
have 7 on the PC. I have the game. I just don't have it downloaded right now. But I'm like, because that one I did get because I was like, so many people. I got the original one because so many people said they loved that. So maybe someday I'll. Now that I know what I'm doing, I don't know how similar it is like to 10 because 10's the only one I played, but
it's pretty different. I mean, it's still Final Fantasy, but it's a much different setting.
Like combat-wise, like, it'd probably be a lot of or just learning different style of combat, probably.
Yeah. It still has the turn-based combat and everything, but
Yeah.
it's going backwards might be a little tough. I'll be honest. Going from 10 to 7. I went the other way.
Oh, I know, right?
One that I would suggest, which I have not played it on the Switch, but like if you're just wanting something to like lounge around and kind of just play, that's super chill and you can do whatever you want, would be Skyrim. That would be dope.
Forgot that.
They have that on the Switch?
I think so, yeah.
It's on everything.
That definitely
Bridges, right?
I have it for my PC, and it is a really, really fun game, but
yeah, it can be overwhelming at first, but like literally you can do whatever you want on there. There's been times where I've just like followed around NPCs to see what they were doing for hours. I mean, you know what I mean? Just go read a book on there. There's some pretty cool
a big world. And I love like games like that have huge like worlds that you can just explore.
For sure. Yeah. You know, there's actually I don't know how far you got into. Well, I won't tell you. I don't want to spoil it. It's all good.
Sounds good.
It's something that you would really enjoy about the game, though, as far as the story goes.
I mean, I thought the dragons were pretty cool. I had like
Dragons
the last time I played, I like defeated my first dragon or something. I was like, man, this is really cool.
You played pretty good into it then, I'd say.
Yeah, I played it for a while, and then I ended up getting, I don't remember what happened to where I like
it requires a lot of attention for sure, but at the same time, once you unlock a lot of stuff in the game, there's like endless possibilities. You can just like go find a good cave and explore it.
I sometimes forget how much I got into that game when it came out years ago.
Yeah,
like, I haven't revisited it, but it would have been on 360, I think, and I played a lot of that back when I guess that would have been when I was still single and just had nothing but time on my hands. I played a lot of that game.
Yeah, I think it was in middle school when it came out.
Yeah, I was like in my apartment after I graduated college,
Yeah, that's still like my favorite game of all time. I think it's just put too much time, and also there's mods that are super cool. Like now when I go back and play it, I literally like to install only the lightsaber mod call it good. I mean, it's so cool just running around with a lightsaber because, I don't know.
Mods are something I've never delved into because I never had a PC I could even game on.
Right.
But modded Skyrim is like its entirely own thing, completely different from the regular game. You can go crazy with it. I mean, I've seen the Thomas the Tank Engine mod for the dragons, which makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
I would probably want to try that.
I've never done anything with mods. I don't even know how, but
well, the only reason I did is because whenever they released it for the Xbox One edition of Skyrim, because I had it on 360 before, it had mods on there, so it's super cool.
Right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I
never tried that.
Yeah, they were super cool. A lot of them were kind of glitchy. You could only have like 3 or 4 mods installed, or else your Xbox would just like crash the game over and over until you had installed all of them. But the lightsaber one's definitely like my favorite. Yeah, it's super cool. Raven, do you have any more questions?
Well, I definitely saw some earlier.
Do you have any for us, Tony? Or anything you'd like to say in general?
I'm just happy to be invited here to come and talk with you guys. It's been a real honor to do this today, and you get to talk to you and get to learn more about both of you. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been an honor to have you on here.
And if anyone has any questions for Tony, definitely drop them in the chat.
Yeah, now Tim asked,
does Tony have a moment in gaming that you'll never forget?
That's a good question, Tim. Something that always stands out to me is when I was, I guess, in high school. It would have been when Halo 2 was out. I had a group of 3 friends. There were 4 of us that would go over to my own friend's house and play Halo all the time, and we just do Halo multiplayer on Blood Gulch, and it would basically become a race to see who could get the tank and kill each other. And I had one friend who would just get in the tank and like be indestructible, and we'd all be teaming up to get him, and we just had like countless nights of playing that game over and over. And like 2 of those friends like didn't really play video games, but they would come over and play Halo. I have some good memories with that. Was like my good group of friends back in high school when I was younger. That one stands out because that was one of my earlier introductions to like Halo multiplayer. And we didn't really do online. We just did local stuff. It would just be the 4 of us, but that was a lot of fun. But something else I think that stands out is when Final Fantasy 13, I think it was 13, came out, the one with lightning. I was in my first apartment after college, and I started dating my now wife Michelle when I was in college. And when I had that apartment, I had an Xbox, and she would come over on the weekends. And one of the first games she watched me play was Final Fantasy 13. And she watched me play a lot of games now. And I remember that being, I mean, she'd probably watched me play some other ones since then, but that was like her first introduction to Final Fantasy. And now like she watched me play FF7 and I want to say there's been another 15 was the other one that we played. And like, she doesn't play a lot of video games, but she's watched me play a lot. And that was one of the first like big story driven games we played together. So that one's always going to, I think, stand out because that was a really fun time. And her first time seeing a chocobo, not only a chocobo, but the baby chocobo come out of the one guy's hair. Because in that game, the one guy has like an afro and he has a little chocobo that lives inside it. And I think his name was Zaz or something. I can't remember. But when she saw that baby chocobo the first time, she lost it. It was amazing.
Is that the big bird looking thing?
And now, yeah, chocobos she loves them.
Oh, those are so fun. I like remember on 10 when I got to like the chocobo races. I was like, this feels so weird. Like, it was so fun. But I was like, this feels so weird. Like, it doesn't belong in this game. Like, it's just like, so, like you have a sequence of events that you do like all the way up to here. And then all of a sudden you're like on a bird, like racing. I was like, what is this? Like, obstacle course? I was like, this is so fun. That was really fun. The chocobos are sweet.
I just thought of one more because this just came up recently. There was a new trailer released like last week for a new Ninja Turtles game, and it's kind of like a sequel to the Turtles in Time arcade game from back a long time ago. And it reminded me, it's something I had forgotten about. When I was probably 9 or 10, my dad was on a softball team, and when he would have his games, we would go watch, but there was also a tiny little arcade there that had a Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet in it. and my brother and I would pour quarter after quarter into that game, playing like the old arcade style Ninja Turtles in Time game, and like week after week we'd go back there. My dad would be playing softball and we'd be in there just like grinding away at that, and we were pretty young, so we were never very good at it, but we got to play a lot of games as a kid, which was we didn't get along a lot, my one brother and I, but we got to play games together, and that was really fun, and now that we're older we get along a lot better. But I remember playing that game with him, and like we could play it together because it was one of those arcades that had multiple joysticks and you could have like 4 people playing at once, and we would play that together like week after week, and that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Seeing when that new trailer came out, I sent it to him and I'm like, man, remember playing this like 20 years ago at the arcade? And so it's probably something we'll pick up that new one and try to play it together at some point.
Is he older or younger than you?
He's younger. I'm actually the oldest of 5 kids.
Oh, cool.
And he's the closest one to me. Yeah.
I'm the oldest
like a
of
year
5.
and a half apart. Yeah, that's right. I think I've heard that before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we have talked about this before.
I'm the youngest, if you couldn't tell.
Yours, like, I feel like it was you or someone else that was like, there's like 4 brothers and 1 girl, or is that what it is?
And the girl's right in the middle. Yep.
Yeah, mine's different. We have 4 girls and 1 boy. So it was like, I do remember talking about this.
It's really funny.
Supreme Steph asked earlier, and I think it was a joke or an insult of some sort, but she said, ask Tony what he thinks of the hats on Pearl.
Hats on Pearl?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I know.
Steph, can you elaborate?
Oh, like in the new Diamond and Pearl remake?
I think so.
Is that what she's talking about?
I think we were talking about, yeah.
It may have made more sense at the time that we were actually, whatever we were talking about.
Right, I read it.
I know that the new game kind of has that chibi art style, and like the heads are kind of big. I'm thinking maybe that's what she's alluding to. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't mind it. It's a kind of odd when they're taking a sprite-based game and keeping the proportions, but making it 3D. But I mean, it looks cute enough. I'm not someone that's like freaking out about it.
She said she heard that you had strong opinions about the hats.
I don't think so. I'm blanking on something. I don't think I've really discussed that with anyone. Are you mixing me up with someone else, Steph?
She also mentioned that Overwatch is on the Switch, Raven, which is a very good multiplayer game. Super chill, easy to get into.
At some point.
Right.
I wish I had crossplay. I have that on the Xbox, I think. I played it for a little bit. And then another game where I tried playing it, and then I didn't really have anyone to play with, so I didn't keep up with it. But I always really enjoyed it.
I think Overwatch needs to create a crossplay between the consoles, at least. Not PC. That would not be cool. But but the consoles at least, like, that would really make it a lot of fun. I would probably play that. I played it on PC like super intensely. So I tried it once on Xbox. So I have no desire to try that. But that would be cool.
Vile said the new God of War is amazing. Definitely do it. It's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I grabbed it on like Black Friday, I think, when it was on sale. I got that and Spider-Man, and I played Miles first, but it's on my list. I just want to play God of War 3. Even though I know they're kind of not connected, I want to play the older one because I know it'll be tough to go backwards after I play the new one.
Yeah, that's true. Did you like Miles? Because I've heard really, really good things about it. I think everyone I talked to has loved that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man is a big reason why I ended up getting a PS4 and why I waited so long. But I finally had to get one when that game came out because I love Spider-Man. So the first game was amazing, and Miles basically took everything about that and improved it. It's very good. Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. Tanette says, what's your stance on Moogles? Hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah, from Final Fantasy. I love them. They're cute and adorable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, is that Psalm's emote? Is that a Moogle?
It's his other emote that isn't a Chocobo.
Okay.
That's a Moogle.
I assumed it was something of that sorts. Just didn't know.
Although there is one part in FF7, the remake, where you talk to a kid dressed as a Moogle, and the music playing when you talk to her drives me crazy because it's like this little like marching tune. It's like the only song I don't really care for in that game because it's very repetitive. But
the music in that game is really, really good. I will definitely give it. Yeah.
I mean, Tanette knows this because I've requested some songs, but Final Fantasy across the board has some of the best soundtracks in any video games, and I've listened to the soundtracks for 7 and 10 specifically so much over the years. I even when my son was a baby, we got a little noisemaker for his room that you could put a memory card in, and I got like piano tunes of Final Fantasy music and put them on there for when he fell asleep, because we'd sit in there and listen to it while we put him to sleep, and it would just be so relaxing. I love it.
They do have really, really good music.
Steph said that Zarn mentioned the hats, and then Tim said that you had the same issue as Zarn with them. I don't know.
I don't remember discussing that. I mean, I don't really have a preference either way. I mean, they're, I think the 3D style from Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon and X and Y is a little better, but they're trying to differentiate the remakes from the new game, so I can appreciate two different styles there. It's fun.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Blame Tim.
Yeah, blame Tim.
I haven't had chat up, but I pulled it up to try to understand it. I just see #blame Tim. Always blame Tim.
Somnic says, who would win in a fight to the death? A grizzly bear or a silverback gorilla? I have a strong opinion on this.
Bear or a gorilla?
No, grizzly bear and a silverback gorilla.
Oh, I bet I can see your opinion here. I mean,
yeah, grizzly. Okay, we got you, Lizard. We know what you want.
You don't. I think you don't.
A gorilla has better movement, right?
What's a silverback? Is that different? A different kind? I don't even have never heard of a silverback.
I'm just thinking,
Grizzlies are huge and bulky.
They are.
However,
gorillas, right?
Yeah, gorillas have just straight brute strength, and I don't know if you've ever seen their mouths open wide, and they're like, are they fangs? I don't know. That their teeth are like 2 inches long and pointy, and they can open them kind of like a hippo does, just super wide. I don't know.
So I'm pretty sure a gorilla would beat a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Just
my argument is
more agile, right?
Versus a polar bear. A polar bear is winning that 10 times out of 10.
Why is that?
Polar bears are like twice the size of a silverback gorilla.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're massive. They are huge. You gotta look it up sometime. Just gorilla versus polar bear. A polar back bear. Yeah. Just a picture of the size difference. I saw it on Twitter last week and I was like, yeah, there's no way.
Interesting. I already went through my chat.
Yeah, I think that was my last question. An interesting one.
That's a good one. Makes you think.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to see that one. Might be a little vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it also depends on the setting you're in too. Are you in the jungle? Are you in the mountains? Like what's going on? Are you in Antarctica? Fighting over a penguin for food?
Yeah, good questions.
Well,
it's funny.
Tony, do you have any more questions or comments?
I don't think so. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
First time I'm ever doing a podcast, so yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's been really enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thanks for joining us. It's always super fun, and we definitely enjoy having you on here. So
Thank
thanks.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna ask what you're thinking about for a raid today.
Yeah, Tony, if you wanna find someone to raid, or we can pick, it's totally up to you.
Let's see. Do you know who you raided last time?
Last time we raided Magic Carpet Ride, I believe.
Okay. Let's see. I see a couple people. I see Ginger. I see Zarners. See Nerdy Curious. I would say,
to follow Tony and Lizard if you don't already.
Yeah, go follow Raven and Tony. My mouth was actually starting to hurt about 30 minutes in from smiling so much. That was the like positive energy we were having. I was like, okay, I gotta like stop.
Tone it down.
So I like forced myself to frown. But seriously, such a positive energy. We appreciate you coming on. I know I asked like several weeks ago, and it was kind of crazy at the time. So I'm glad we could finally work out a night to have you on.
I'm glad I was able to find the time to make this work. This is usually like, after 7 o'clock was when we put my son to bed, and my wife and I get like an hour or two of peace before we like almost get ready for bed. So yeah, I'm glad we could find the time to do this and make it work. This has been great.
Yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, we'll do a double raid if you want to pick someone out or whatever.
Yeah, what was I? Let's say either Zarners or Ginger. If there's one of them you haven't done recently, like if you did one of them, let's do the other one.
Do you want to do Ginger? Because we've probably done Zarners a few times.
Yeah. Unless you have something else. I mean, if you have someone you haven't rated before, please, you don't have to go with them.
They're talking about the brand new update and items, so that might be a interesting one.
One last question, says Steph.
Yeah.
Did Tony say the story of how he and Tim met? I don't think he did.
Oh, that's a good one. So, we met in high school.
From Cal.
From what?
Oh, Cal asked that. My bad. Cal Viserys. I missed that. Sorry,
hey, Cal. Yeah, I mean, we met in high school. I know we were in the same homeroom senior year, which is how we kind of got to become really good friends. I mean, I think I met him a little bit before that, but I know our final year of high school is when we got to be really good friends. And then we ended up going to college together, but we went to Penn State, and we weren't at the same campus to start, but we had a couple friends from high school that all went to Penn State together, and we all kind of hung out together. So yeah, met him in high school, got to become really good friends there into college, and we've just kind of been playing Halo and playing video games for 15 years now. I think I've known him, or something like that. So it's been a very long time, a very good friendship, and we've awesome. I mean, like I said, he was the best man at my wedding. So right. And he's also how I got into this whole world of streaming. So can't thank him enough for all that.
Yeah, well, we love Tim. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
All right, I will drop this raid into the chat, and then we'll get #Unkindness raid going.
Yeah, and thank you guys all for hanging out and joining us today.
For sure. Once again, thanks, Tony, for coming on. It's been awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Tell me when you hit the raid, but like the actual to send it the raid.
I will hit it right now.
Okay, cool.
Right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.